Yahweh Shai up in the kingdom, yeah.
Who are we? Israel. Then who are we? Israel. Can't hear you.
Israel.
Who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power,
I
yeah.
said, who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power, yeah.
So another location here in Texas, in San Antonio, Texas. All right. We do have the Blog Talk Radio, another avenue of staying in tune with the Word. We have multiple YouTube channels. If you subscribe to this one, you'll see all of them. We got the Fringe Up subscription. You know, if you want to get fringed up, get you a nice decal shirt. Or if you want to get something customized, you got an idea, hit the sisters up, Israelwear, isbhpk.com/fringed up. We got Hebrew Academy here in Houston on Tuesdays, and in Rochester on Mondays. Yeah, we have the Feast of Pentecost that will be coming up real soon, so stay tuned for that.
June 11th.
There you go, June 11th. June 11th will be the Feast of Pentecost. So mark your calendars if you haven't already marked it. If you need to reach a priest or teacher, you can reach Priest Kazakia. His number is there on the screen. Or you can reach Priest Quatazat, and his number is there also. We have a business, Sweet Ambiance. Check us out. Sign up for a monthly subscription, get you some smell goods, you know. Keep yourself smelling good, keep your house smelling good, keep your family smelling good. All right, if you want to drop any donations, alms, offerings, tithes, you know, you can put that into the Wells Fargo account. That info is there on the screen. We also accept Zelle and Cash App. All right, if you want to mail any items to the school, please hit up Priest Quatazat, and he'll give you a good address where you can mail these items to. That's it for the announcements.
Short and sweet.
Let's do the morning prayers. Aimanu, Hanyua, Yerah Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Bahasham Yahushai,
Bahasham Yahushai,
Hahawa'ah,
Hawa'ah,
Nathalanawa, a war, Zayawam, the water, Aman.
That's blessed you, Yahweh, the name Yahweh Shai, that gives us the light to see. The light represents our wisdom, knowledge, understanding, going up that we obtain through the scriptures. Matthew 5:16 says, let your light shine before men, that they may see your glorious works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Bahasham Yahushai,
Bahasham Yahushai,
Hahawa'ah,
Hawa'ah,
Nathalanawa, Rayah, Na'akakah, the water, Aman.
Amen. That's blessed you, Yahweh, the name Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the forgive me. That's blessed you, Yahweh, the name Yahweh Shai, that gives to us a sweet Savior. Thank you, so be it. The frankincense and myrrh represents our sweet Savior going up.
That's our prayers.
So our prayer is going up to the Most High as a sweet Savior. Psalms 141 and 2 says, let your prayers set before thee as incense.
That's it.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Hawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Lathalanawa. Hashabbat.
Hashabbat.
Bashalom.
Bashalom.
The water. Aman.
Aman. That's blessed you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, to give us a Sabbath and peace. Thanks, so be it.
This is Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Ainashah. Ayam Yam Yah. Al Aharyam. Na'ayah. Yabawa'ah. Isaiah. Yabawa'ah. Ma Yahweh. Sha'aisha. Shemayim. Wa'aratazah. La'ah. Lanathan. Lamawat. Regalia. Yala'ah. Nawam. Shasha Wamar. Yasha'Allah. Yahweh, Shemaria, Yahweh, Tazalia, Al, Yam Yah, Yad, Hashamash, Yala'ah, Hakayah, Bayawam, Wala'ah, Halabana, Bayalallah, Yahweh, Yashamaria, Makol, Rad, Yashamar, Napashia, Yahweh, Yashamar, Hawalakia, Wawa'aya, Ma'aitan, Wa'ai, Aman.
It's in Psalms 121. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Shema Yasha'Allah.
Shema Yasharallah.
Yahweh Allah Hayanawa.
Yahweh Allah Hayanawa.
Yahweh Chad.
Yahweh Echad.
Shema Yasha'Allah.
Shema Yasharallah.
Yahweh Allah Hayanawa.
Yahweh Allah Hayanawa.
Yahweh Chad.
Yahweh Echad.
Shema Yasha'Allah.
Shema Yasharallah.
Yahweh Allah Hayanawa.
Yahweh Allah Hayanawa.
Yahweh Chad.
Yahweh Echad.
That's here, Israel. Yahweh our power. Yahweh is one.
It's the Lord's Prayer, which can be found in Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwethka, Baba'ah, Bertazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamayim, Nathalanawa, Lacham, Kol, Yawam, Wasalachnawa, Kabawafnawa, Kabawaf Yinawa, Wala'ah, Tabianawa, Banasaya 1, Abo, Awashaynawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'Allah, Wahathapara, Wa'ai
Aman. This is Matthew 6 and 9, the Lord's Prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Asherah, Matazawa,
The Ten Commandments.
La'ah, Yahaya, Laka, Alahayim, Aharyam, Alpanya.
Thou shalt have no other powers before me.
La'ah, Ta'aisha, Laka, Pasol, Wala'ah, Ta'ibadam.
Thou shalt not make unto thou any graven image.
La'ah, Talakwat, Shem, Yahweh, Bashawa.
Thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain.
Zakar.
Zakar.
Hayawam.
Hayawam.
Hashabah.
Hashabah.
Lakodashwa.
Lakodashwa.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Kabad.
Kabad.
Abaka.
Abaka.
Wa. Amaka.
Amaka.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
La'a.
La'a.
Taratazak.
Taratazak.
Thou shalt not murder.
La'a.
La'a.
Tana'a.
Tana'ah.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
La'a.
La'a.
Taganab.
Taganab.
Thou shalt not steal.
La'a.
La'a.
Ta'ainam.
Ta'ainam.
Shakur.
Shakur.
Thou shalt not bear false witness.
La'a.
La'a.
Takamad.
Takamad.
Ko. Asherah.
Asherah.
Lara'aika.
Lara'aika.
Thou shalt not covet anything that is thy neighbor's.
Bahasham Yahushai.
Bahasham Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Tamyad.
Tamyad.
Aman.
Aman. Yeshaviim, which means to be seated.
All right, so that was the opening prayers. Let's get into the reading. Right? 6. He's not gonna go. What is it? 17 verses. Let's bring them up. How you gonna be back by?
Probably like 12.
Come on, Benaiah. We're gonna salute the first reader.
Benaiah, Shabbat Shah, Yehoda, Ban Yashala, Mir Israel, Hamadu, Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Let me do that.
Yeah.
My bad. You got it next. You got it next.
Spirit is on. Spirit is on.
That's how you know, right? The ram's horn. The ram's horn don't get blowed the right way. All right, so last week we spoke about who remembers. Who remembers what? Okay, I'll tell you. Last week we spoke about last week's Sabbath reading. We went over the year of Jubilee, the release. We went over the land Sabbath, right? The 6 years plow your field, sow your field. 7 years give it rest. Y'all remember? Y'all with me? Y'all awake?
That was the next question.
Right? This is that day. Today's the turn up, right? Every other day is a turn down. This got to be the turn up, right? So we went over the year of release, the Jubilee, the 50-year Jubilee, right? Number 7 Sabbaths times 7, 49. Then you add a year, 50. That's when whatever loans, whatever property that would go back to, depending on the stipulations, that would go back to its original owner. If you had some loans that you had taken out, those loans would be forgiven. And there was a way that we lent things according to the time of Jubilee. There was a way that we priced things according to that time. If it was longer, further out, we would price things higher, or and if it was closer, we'd do it lower. That way, it was to ensure that no one was being taken advantage of. If you had to borrow, You were able to get back on your feet, but the lender wasn't left out in the cold, right? So that year of Jubilee it wasn't for you to take advantage of a person, but it was set up for us to not hang situations over our heads, having things hanging over our heads for a lifetime, right? You mad at me for the $5 from 50 years ago that your grandpa borrowed? Like, let that go.
Con.
Right? So, and then we read about, being able to redeem a relative if they had to sell themselves into some type of bondage situation to recover a debt or to get up off their feet if they fell, if they, like the scriptures say, if they waxed poor, if they fell into a low estate. So, is it just me buffering, or is that what we on? We on buffer time? Let's see. Right. So where we at?
Leviticus 26, verse 3.
Right. Yep. And listen, this reading ain't long, so we're not gonna make it longer than what it is. All right. So let's get it.
Leviticus 26, verse 3. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the showing time. And ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land. Neither shall the sword go through your land.
And obviously, all these things are happening. The sword is definitely passing through the land. Cats is dying at an all-time high, it feels like. Right? All types of weird deaths. I mean, y'all see this whole school shooting? Right? The 19 victims. And then before that, there was the shooting in Buffalo. That killed 10 before, and then right after the Buffalo, there was a shooting in, I believe, California at a church. Yeah, some Asian church. They shot up some Asians. So the sword is definitely passing through the land. And when you look at that Uvalde community, that's Issachar up there. Right? A lot of Issacharites up there. All them children that got took out. They all Valenzuela, Rodriguez, right? Ortiz, like those type of names, right? Those Spanish-speaking community, right? Issacharite community. So remember, the Most High said judgment is going to begin at his house first, and he's going to go through and he's going to judge. We keep saying it. We keep saying it. When you break the commandments, there's not going to be a leeway or a forgiveness because you're 9 years old or 10 years old. And what do I mean by that? Well, the scriptures say visiting the iniquity on the children, visiting the iniquity on the children for the third and fourth generation. So just think about it. Think about a lot of the different things that are not being done in our communities for our children. And then they fall into some type of evil or they fall into some type of wrongdoing. They're now accountable. Y'all see that?
God.
Think about fathers not being around, single parent households. What are those kids doing? Now, I'm not speaking on as far as what they were doing up in Uvalde. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know what's going on in that community. But obviously, something's going on where the Most High allowed this guy to walk into a school and shoot kids for an hour. For 73 minutes, he was in there picking them off. Think about that. I mean, bruh. And that's just coming out. That the whole 73 minutes, the cops were standing there in the hallways and kids just getting picked off. He killed 19 people. Supposedly, right? So we got to really see what's going on here. It's right. He's 8 years old. How old are you? You're 11 years old. Y'all could have been in that school. That's y'all's grades. That's your grade, right? It was nothing but 10 and 11-year-olds running from the classrooms. That could have been y'all. At any moment, don't think that you're exempt if you're not doing the right things. That could be any one of our children in any one of these schools.
Yep.
My rib works in the school. She's a teacher. That could be her school. I think about those things all the time, where that the Most High's check. Go to Ecclesiasticus real quick. 38, 39.
39.
Go there real quick.
28.
39 and 28. Yeah, go there real fast.
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28.
Right?
There be spirits that are created for vengeance,
Go ahead.
which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
Go ahead.
In the time of destruction,
Right?
they pour out their force
Read.
and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Go ahead.
Fire and hell,
Right?
and famine,
Right.
and death.
Mm-hmm.
All these were created for vengeance.
Oh, they were what?
Were created for vengeance.
Go ahead. What else?
Teeth of wild beasts.
Go ahead.
And scorpions.
Read.
Serpents.
Read.
And the sword.
And the what?
The sword.
Go ahead.
Punishing the wicked to destruction.
Go ahead.
They shall rejoice in his commandment.
Go ahead.
And they shall be ready upon the earth.
And that's the point that I wanted to get to. Where are they?
Ready upon the earth.
Yeah. It's right around the corner. That check is always waiting.
Close by.
It's close by. It's closer than what you think. Right? And as soon as you allow yourself to step out of the angels bearing you up and compassing you about, because he said he compass about the righteous. But as soon as you get prideful, as soon as you get as soon as you let any of these negative spirits hit you and you step out of that circle of encampment, these evil spirits is ready. These evil angels are ready to invoke their wrath, and it says they're ready on earth. So they ain't gotta come from far. They ain't gotta show up in a chariot. They're right there. The Most High can turn anything into his sword, into his weapon. Go ahead.
When need is.
When need is. When is the need? Well, the need is to punish. The need is to get things in check. So going back to the reading, that's it on that. Going back to the reading.
Oh, can I get one?
Yeah, what you got?
Let me get Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 20.
Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 20. The anger of the Lord shall not return until he have executed,
Hey,
until he have performed the thoughts of his heart.
Go ahead.
In the latter days,
In what days?
in the latter days,
Go ahead.
ye shall consider it perfectly.
Now, the point I want to get to in this scripture is how in these days you shall consider it perfectly. You think about the way Quatazal was just bringing it out, how these calamities, these evil angels are here on the earth, and they're ready at the drop of a dime, at a beckoning for the Most High, from the Most High, to execute vengeance. You're not safe unless you stay in the spirit. But if you're traveling and moving outside the spirit, it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. That's why it says in the scripture here, in these days, we can consider it. In these days, we should be able to see this a lot more easier than before. If you haven't been paying attention to what's been going on in the news, what's been happening worldwide, the famines, the food shortage, Shamala put something out on the group chat, and the video the dude was talking about that the world's food supply will have been run out in 10 weeks. That's like 2.5 months. Then everyone's gonna be hurting for grains and breads and stuff like that. And guess what? That also affects your meats. If there's nothing for the cattle, and the chickens to eat, well, we gonna be forced to be vegetarians. You gonna be a GMO vegetarian, or you gonna have to grow your own stuff. The school shootings, the killings don't stop. They keep going. It goes so much. These killings has happened so much that it's common now. It's not like, oh my God. It's just like, damn.
Yeah. When that school shooting happened, I guess it started around 12. Bro, I didn't hear about it until 5:30.
Yeah.
And I was just going about my day, and I was like, oh, they shot up another school?
Yeah.
Dum-da-dum. And I just kept it moving like, oh, okay.
God.
What else is new? I just looked at where it was. Uvalde? Oh, 200 miles away? Okay. And just kept it moving. I didn't even think twice. Because it is common.
It's common. All these calamities is common. But that's why in these days we should be able to consider what the Most High is doing perfectly. Children should be able to see it. It's not hard to see now. It's not a movie. It's not a game. It's not VR. It's real.
Yeah, if y'all are thinking because we've been saying it, I've been saying it. I know Kazakh been saying it. I've been saying it. Y'all think that because y'all are kids, that it ain't gonna touch y'all. The worst things are happening to kids. Don't y'all realize? I watched a video. They did a social experiment on kids where they'd have a kid just walking in the street and somebody come up behind him and pretend that he was kidnapping them to see what people would do. People walking, and the kid is right in front of him. And the dude runs up and snatches him and takes him into an alley. And the dude's on his phone. He looked, and he just kept about his business. He looked down the alley. He was like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. And kept it moving. In every case, nobody stood up for the children. Nobody came to a kid's rescue. Right? There was a woman in I think it was New York. She was getting attacked on the train the other day. And nobody came to her. She was begging for help. Nobody came to her rescue. Them kids in the classroom was calling 911 for 73 minutes. And nobody came for their rescue. They let them sit in there and get killed. So don't think because you're a child that you're exempt. That you're cute and cuddly and you got your little brown eyes, your little puppy dog eyes. Bro, the Most High don't look at that. He's looking at your spirit, and y'all, I keep saying it, you guys sit in here and you listen. You listen so you're accountable for what you're hearing. Yep. All the things that we say, you guys are accountable. All the lying that y'all be doing, all the deceptiveness that y'all be doing, disobedient to y'all's parents, we hear about it. But y'all are going to be accountable for it. That's why when y'all sit in class, you got to be taking your notes, making sure that you're reading, making sure that you're paying attention, right? That way you can understand what to do and what not to do. Because if not, let me show you something. Go to Ezekiel real quick. Go to Ezekiel 9. Nine and 4. Read that.
Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city,
right?
Through the midst of Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
And set a mark upon the foreheads.
Now, this is happening throughout the world, right? There's a mark being set on the foreheads. There's a sealing of the 144,000. There's a sealing of the righteous. There's a marking being happened through the word. Go ahead.
Of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations.
No, the ones that like it.
For all the abominations.
The ones that like to steal.
For all the abominations.
The ones that like to lie.
For all the abominations.
Go ahead.
That be done in the midst thereof.
Yeah, because it's an abomination to lie to your parents and be deceptive. It's an abomination to cheat, to steal. The Most High don't like those things. Go ahead.
And to the others he said in my hearing, Go ye after him,
right,
through the city.
Go ahead.
And smite.
Read.
Let not your eyes spare.
Go ahead.
Neither have ye pity.
Who is he smiting? Read.
Slay utterly,
right,
old and young.
Wait, just the old.
Old and young.
Just everybody above 21.
Old and young.
Read on.
Both maids and little children.
Wait, who?
Maids and little children.
So don't think because you a young tender female, you got long hair and it's curly and you're real petite. He said maids and little children. Go ahead.
And women.
Who?
And women.
And you women that are not teaching these children. That's why y'all gonna get got. Your example. If your example is not on 10, if your example is not upstanding, if you're not doing what it says in Titus, the aged women teaching the younger women how to love their children, how to love their husbands. If you're not doing what it says in 1 Timothy 3:11 about the wife of a bishop must be grave, serious, upstanding, dignified, these are the things that's going to happen. If you're not doing 1 Peter 3:1, wives, submit to your own husbands. Right? If you're not doing those things, this is why those women are going to be taken out. Go ahead. What y'all think? Cardi B? She's the example. Who's the other retard? Was another retard out there? Lizzo. Y'all think they're gonna be in heaven doing what they're doing on Instagram? You think they're gonna be in heaven acting like birds? Like how they act on Instagram? Like they're gonna be the example? The Cardi B's and the Kim Kardashians of this world? Hell no, they're gonna be the women that get slain. And their children ride along with them because of the example. Don't be that example. Go ahead.
But come not near any man upon whom is the mark.
Right, and what does it go back to? Well, it goes back to what we've been reading in the law, the whole Leviticus that we've been reading about. Why is the Most High sending this evil out? Why is he slaying utterly old and young? Well, because it goes back to us failing to keep the most minute laws, like a land Sabbath, like idol worship, all that idol worship, and pedestalizing people, and pedestalizing your ego, and putting yourself above everything. Those are the reasons why this is happening. Because have no other gods before me.
God.
Right? But what do we tend to do? We put everything as a god. We put everything before the Most High. So what is he gonna do? He gonna wipe you out. That's what. He gonna wipe you out. Come on, you think them children in Uvalde wasn't running around every Easter? Easter egg hunting? You think they wasn't running around every Christmas?
Halloween.
Christmas, every Halloween, dressing up as ghouls and goblins in their little community? You think that wasn't happening? You think their parents weren't lying to them about all the holidays? You think they was learning the Bible in Spanish?
They're definitely gonna celebrate 4th of July.
You think they wasn't gonna do 4th of July when they came up? You think they wasn't gonna do Memorial Weekend? Or today's Memorial Day, right? No, when is it? Monday. You think they wasn't gonna do their memorial celebrations and pop their fireworks and do all that crap? You think they haven't been doing that? Of course they have. But y'all should be happy that the Most High pulled you out of that as children. He got y'all out of that early. So you wouldn't have to bear the burdens and the weight of what that's going to bring. Following those holidays, they bring death. Don't y'all see it? Yeah. They bring death immediately, and they bring death in the long term. Think about how many kids get snatched up and kidnapped during Halloween trick-or-treating. Think about it. Think about how many kids get molested and touched on trying to be on Santa's lap and the Easter Bunny's lap during Christmas and during Easter. Y'all got to read these stories. You got old fat white men getting drunk, molesting children when they're sitting on his lap, talking about, ho, 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 what you want for Christmas, while he's touching on them. That's what's going on. Y'all didn't know that, huh? Did you know that? Yeah, I know you didn't know that. Did you know that? Did y'all know that? Y'all didn't know that? Y'all got to read more. Y'all got to watch more news. Every year, it's the same things over and over. It never stops. It looks wholesome. It looks fun. It looks like, oh, I should be doing that. But there's evil behind it. Jump back to Leviticus. Did you finish? Go ahead, read.
And begin at my sanctuary.
He said, do what?
And begin at my sanctuary.
Yeah, just like it says in Peter's. He said, judgment will begin at my house first. He said, begin at my sanctuary. Who's in the sanctuary? Huh? No, but who's in the sanctuary? Think about it. Who's there first? The priests, man. It's the priests. The priests are in the sanctuary. So think about that. He said, go to them first, the examples. And if their example ain't upstanding, wipe them out. Them, their children, their women. Y'all see that? But remember, now it's to the point where we're a nation of what? Didn't he say we're a nation of kings and priests? So we're all the sanctuary. We all represent the sanctuary. So don't think, oh, well, I'm not a Levite, I'm good. Hell nah. You an Issacharite, Levite, Judite, Benjamite, he's coming. That vengeance is ready. It's waiting. Whether you 8 years old or 50 years old. 50 years old or 100 years old. Don't think you're exempt. Don't think that it can't happen. Young, tender, 5 foot, 120, long flowing hair, voice like an angel. All that stuff is all fine and dandy, right? But let your spirit be off. Argue with your husband and go against him that one day and see what happens when you pull up to that gas station. Who's waiting? See what happens when you pull into that grocery store parking lot. Go look at the stories. Go look at the stories of people getting robbed gunpoint at the gas station. You can't even get gas no more. You can't even go push a shopping cart through the damn parking lot because somebody's running from the cops. They just shot up a whole gas station down the street. If y'all didn't hear about it. Last night, a straight shootout at a gas station between cops and robbers. So even if it don't come directly to you, it's right there where you can just be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I got one. I met this little girl yesterday in the mall. She had an eye patch on. She said she got shot in the eye. She was a part of she got hit by a bullet in a drive-by shooting. I thought the kids was joking, but the more I talked to her,
the more you saw,
the more I was like, dang. She started getting uncomfortable. It's almost like she started to relive it while she was talking to me, and I felt real bad. But it's a young little girl, like 11 years old, eye patch on. She says she lost the eye, and they're planning on getting her a prosthetic eye. This happened to her in December.
Wow.
Yes.
Probably out Christmas shopping, running them streets, and just in the wrong place at the wrong. It seems like it, right? Wrong place, wrong time. Nah, she was in the right place at the right time. Because no matter where she was, that was going to happen to her. That's the thing. No matter what. Yeah, when the Most High got his crosshairs on you, he got you. There's no escaping. Like, oh, I'm in the right. Like, let me go hide behind this and hide, but let me just sit at home. He'd make a bullet go through that damn wall, all the way from 3 blocks away. Come on, look at the dude that try to rob the guy at the ATM, right here by the Southwest Freeway. What was it, Beach Nut or something? Robbed them at the ATM. The dude shot at them and hit a girl in the car 3 blocks away, and killed her.
3 blocks away.
Yes. He started shooting at the robbers and just shot. And the bullet just went down, just sailed down the street and hit the little girl. And she was in a car. It just hit her in the head. Bam, right in the temple. Dead. Come on now. She was that far away to get hit. When the Most High wants you, there be spirits that be created for vengeance. So they won't stop until they appease his wrath. Y'all see that? And if you're a part of his wrath, ain't no stopping it. Get on top of yourselves, man. Stop lying. Stop being deceptive. Stop being anti. Stop being rebellious. Stop being lazy. Y'all got me? Talking to you 4. There's only 4 of y'all. 5. Right? 5 of y'all in here. 5 kids. Every time. It's always the same kids, right? But there's a reason why y'all are in here listening. There's a reason why, because you don't want to be caught out there not knowing what's going on. Jump back to Leviticus. Make sure you read up. Read loud.
Leviticus 26, verse 7. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword.
Right. These are all the good things that would have happened if we were in rulership, if we would have obeyed. But now we're being chased down the block
That's right.
by the little 5'2" female officer. We getting chased down the block by the 400-pound fat white boy, the fat white officer that been on the force 30 years that all he been doing is eating donuts and drinking. He's chasing you down the block and catching you.
Yep.
Come on now. Well, not really. We outrunning him. But the point is, he's chasing and you running. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And 5 of you shall chase 100.
Wait, what?
And 5 of you shall chase 100.
Think about those odds, man. 5 brothers will chase 100 men. Go ahead.
And 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
Come on, man. And that's just the lower level. Come on, David was killing thousands and thousands. David went and slew 400 men himself. Think about that. Now you shake when the leaves rattle on the trees. You hear the wind blow. Yo! Wait, what's that? You see spiders and wasps and bees and you get nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I picked up one of my plants from the backyard. You know, it's been raining. Mm-hmm. So I was moving one of my plants to get some sun. And when I picked it up to go walk into the front of the house, something poked his head out and jumped. And I was like, oh, snap, bro. It was a frog. Might have been like that big. But it just startled me. I was like, oh, man. Come on. Come on now. Where's the dominion? Ain't no dominion when you scared of a frog. When you scared of a bee. There was a wasp. There was a bumblebee in my house. Bumblebees are huge.
The big ones.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even want to go into the bathroom. I'm like, bro, I'm good. We got to find a way to get him out. So I had to open the window from a distance and let him just close the door and let him do his thing. He can have the bathroom for now. I got 2 more. Yeah. You don't want to get stung by that. Come on.
I've been stung in the back of the neck.
That, bro, them bumblebees are huge. It's a big bee. But the point is our stature has been diminished in all aspects because we diminished ourselves in following the law and not following the law and not being obedient. The law is our power, right? The wisdom. That's what's going to strengthen us. The wisdom in doing the law. And what? We're not strong as a people because we follow this world's wisdom. We follow the celebrity wisdom. We let Instagram and Daily Mail and all those things influence us. We let Snapchat, we let TV, you let these sitcoms and these damn dumb TV shows be your influence. That's really what's weakening us as a whole. Go ahead, read.
And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. Verse 9. For I will have respect unto you and make you fruitful.
To make you what?
Fruitful.
We definitely fruitful. But it says, what does it say? What does it say? Take no joy in the multitude of unprofitable children.
Kind.
That's the problem. We're fruitful as hell, but the children are unprofitable. The children are unprofitable. It says that we're bringing forth monsters. Right? Get that one for me. It's Ecclesiasticus. Listen, it says, bless whose man his quiver is full. It says, children are a blessing from the Lord. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full. But what's the point of having a bunch of unruly children? We're steadily. That's the one thing Israel ain't never stopped doing was multiplying. Niggas out there popping out babies left and right. That's easy, right? But are you teaching them? For I know him, he shall teach his children. That's what the Most High knew about Abraham. It's the same being said for our people, for us in this day and age. Even us in here, man. We popping out babies, but guess what? We're supposed to be teaching them. We're supposed to be setting standards and barriers for them. Did you find it?
Yeah, design on multiple
I got
unprofitable
16
children.
and 1, but that's not it.
You want the one where it talks about monstrous children?
That's in the second Ezra's. Profitable.
No, it's 16. It's 16. It's Ecclesiastes
Yeah,
16:1.
that is it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 16 and verse 1.
Right?
Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children.
Yeah, but how did the children become unprofitable? It's not because they were born like that. It's because when they came out, the guidance wasn't set. The nurture, the standards wasn't set up to make them not unprofitable. They were left to themselves, right? Think about all of us, left to ourselves. Became headstrong, we became prideful. Left to ourselves, and the wrong element raised you. The wrong thing raised us, man. Whether it be the cats on the block, whether it be the video games, whether it be the drugs, the blunt smoke, whether it be porn, whether it be sports, all those things raised you except for a daddy with wisdom and knowledge. So what happened? Believe it or not, you had to come back into the word so you could become profitable. You had to come back in the word so you could understand what it meant to be profitable, what it meant to have a standard in our older age. Where you children, you 5 that are in here sitting, and whoever's listening online, y'all have the opportunity to be profitable. Why? Because there's many examples around you. Your parents, the brothers, the sisters around you, of how to carry yourself as a young adult, as a young child, how to carry yourself in obedience and respect. There's many examples of it. Go ahead.
Neither delight in ungodly sons.
Yeah, man. Just because you got them don't mean that that you need to be delighting in them. If they're not living up to what it is you're living up to as an Israelite man, you can't delight in that. You can't. There gotta be. It's like what I do with my son. He loves to run around with garments and headbands and armbands and fringes and look all dope, right? But let me get a report from school about him lying or putting his hands on somebody. I strip him. Ain't no fringes this week. Ain't no headband this week. Ain't no armbands this week. Ain't no video games. Why? Because you're not gonna represent and just do the outward thing, but then the inward thing is not being worked on. Because I'm not hitting people. I'm not lying to people. I'm not doing those things. That's not being reported on me. So he has to follow the standard. He don't see brothers hitting on people and doing those things. So he has to follow the standard. And until he understands that, okay, I have to operate this in this manner as a young boy. I got to carry myself in this manner as a young man, because if I don't, it's going to continue with me to my old age. He don't get to wear the fringes. He don't get to look nice in the garment. He didn't come to Passover with a tunic. There was a reason why. Like I told him, I said, bro, you got to do better in life. You got to start doing a lot better as how old is he? 8? As an 8-year-old son, you got to do a lot better. There's a lot of things you got to work on. So this year, no tunic for Passover. Next year, if your behavior and all those things are lining up to what I want, then guess what? We'll get you all that. We'll get you a tunic. We'll make you float into Passover. Right? But until then, if you're not living the standard, you don't get to represent part of the standard. Just like us. Just like us grown men. You can't do part of it. Just like us grown women. You can't do part of it. The hair wrap, the fringes, they mean nothing if your spirit don't understand why you should carry yourself with a standard in a certain manner. They mean the salutes and all that stuff mean nothing if you're contentious in the mind, if you're if you're always going against things, if you're usurping authority. None of those things mean anything if there's no order and no structure. What are you saluting for? Don't salute me. I don't need the salute. Keep that for your husband. He could deal with the fake, what we call it? What was my definition of a person? I did it in the lion class. Man, where you lie on your values. What was it?
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me the definition.
Duplicitous. Your duplicitous demeanor, right? Where you present one thing to everyone, but behind closed doors or in your mind secretly, you're a whole other way. You can say that for your husband. You can say that for the other brothers. I don't want it. Don't salute me. If you don't understand that it's about a standard and not how soft your salute is. I don't give a damn. If you children don't get it, it's not about how powerful your shalom, huh? Nobody cares about that. Stop lying to your parents. Stop being deceptive. Stop being disobedient. That's what it's about. You keep your salute. Keep your salute, man. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Though they multiply.
Though they what?
Though they multiply.
Because that's easy. Go ahead.
Rejoice not in them.
It's easy to multiply children, man. That's nothing. But what are you taking pride in? What is there to rejoice in if we're not teaching them? If we're not sitting them down and being able to get into their minds and talk to them. If they get to hide in their rooms, hide behind phones, hide behind video games, what's the point? They're just going to be castaways anyway. If the video games is raising them in their phone, you might as well just say, hey world, here's a young, tender 15-year-old for you to have. You might as well just take her to the block and let them raise her, because that's what's going on anyway. And that's what you kids got to realize. If the phone is, if you constantly glued to this thing and you can't operate any other way, you got to reevaluate your life and understand, well, what's raising me? What's my influence? If your phone, video games, if somebody else's mentality, not coming from this Bible, is what you gravitate to more than, let me go talk to my parents to see what they think about what I'm doing. Let me go get advice and counsel from my mom and from my dad that's in the Bible, that's trying to be righteous. If everything else can counsel you and guide you, you need to reevaluate your priorities. You're going to be just what the scriptures is talking about, unprofitable. So you might as well move the hell out, find you a little whorehouse, find you a little crack house, and go live in that.
Done.
Go find you a den of thieves, right? And go be a liar, go be a cheat, go be a stealer, a thief. Go live with them. Let them raise you. Or we can be God-fearing children, right? We can fear the Lord, obey your parents, be obedient, have some honor, and do what the scriptures are saying. Go ahead.
Except the fear of the Lord be with them.
See that? Except the fear of the Lord be on you. Children, ask yourselves. Y'all ain't children. Y'all are teens, young adults. Ask yourselves, what do you fear? What do you fear the most? And if at this point it's not the Most High, again, reevaluate. Reevaluate your priorities. Reevaluate your outlook on things. Ask more questions. Get more counsel. Open up and talk more. Because if you carry this mind state into your young adulthood, it's never going to leave you. Go ahead.
Trust not thou in their life. Not a respect.
Ain't that what it said? I mean, come on. You might as well take, listen, if you got a daughter, you might as well take her to Bissonnette. Just give her up.
That's what I was thinking.
You might as well just give her to the hoes on Bissonnette, let them raise her. And take your son and let the pimp raise him. It says, trust not in their life. Because either it's going to get cut short, like them kids up in that school, or they're going to go from unprofitable children to unprofitable teens to unprofitable adults, man. And you're going to end up resenting that you had them. Read.
Not a respect their multitude.
Go ahead.
For one
Read.
that is just.
One that is what?
That is just.
And that's all you need. One that is just. Go ahead.
Is better than 1,000.
Yeah, man. And this is what y'all got to understand. You should be looking to be that one that's just. You the only one. You're the only one in your house, so you better be the just, right? But you supposed to be looking to see how can I be the best young adult, the best example of the young adults that I can be, of the teenagers. How do I not be like what I see at school, but how do I mimic what I hear in the scriptures and what I read, right? How do I be like a young Christ discoursing with doctors and lawyers at 12? How do I carry myself like a young Joshua? No, excuse me, like a young Joseph, right? With all integrity, as a child being mistreated in so many different ways and not letting it carry over into his adulthood to where he had resentment. How do I be like Joseph? Who in here has read the story of Joseph? No, children, teens. I know you adults have. Who has read the story of Joseph? Only one of y'all. That's the problem. That's a real come on, y'all never seen the King of Egypt? Even the movie? Right, but now you got to read the story to get the actual biblical account of Joseph and how he was from when he fell in that ditch while his brothers put him in that ditch to when he was sold off to when he became king, and see why and how he carried himself. It's important. I mean, we read it in Sabbath class, but you got to read it for yourselves. He was a young boy. He was a young man in his teens, and then into his adulthood. Read about young David, 16, how he carried himself. Some of y'all about to be 16. And how his virtues at 16 carried him into adulthood to where he was profitable. Then read about his children. Read about Eli's sons. Read about Samuel's sons. A lot of examples of children in the Bible that you can read about, good and bad. Jump back to Leviticus.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 10.
Right?
Wait, verse 9, last precept. And establish my covenant with you. Verse 10. And ye shall eat old store, and bring forth the old because of the new. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. And I will walk among you, and will be your God, and ye shall be my people.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that ye should not be their bondmen. And I have broken...
That you shall be what?
That ye should not be their bondmen.
Yeah, man. The Most High didn't set us up and save you just to go into another slavery. Don't y'all get it? He didn't pull you out of one condition to put you into another. He should have just left us in Egypt. But is he a slave? Is Israel a servant? Is he a slave? Is he a homeborn slave? Right? We got this slave mentality that we, for some reason, cannot eradicate. And we keep it. And what do they call it? Stockholm Syndrome? Yeah. Some of us got Stockholm Syndrome, man. Your oppressor, you give him all the leeway. Now your oppressor is no longer your oppressor. That's your friend. That's your buddy. That's your pal. Can I get that tissue? Some of us are suffering from extreme Stockholm Syndrome because we feel like if it ain't coming from our slave master, it's not worthy. There's no worth. Again, you adults, the mind state that you have, if you breed that into your children, they're going to be slaves just like you. No. Just like you were, right? Because we ain't, listen, we all free up in here, right? Con? You shall know the truth and what? Right. So we all free up in here. Ain't no slavery going on up in here. Ain't no mental slaves. Ain't no physical slaves, right? Ain't no bond men and bond women, right? Con? Okay, because let me know. Y'all want to go back to Egypt? I ain't going to take you, but the door is right there. I ain't taking you to Egypt, but you can walk out the door and go right back into Egypt and right back into Sodom and Gomorrah and right back into Babylon. Right? The mentality that you carry is what you're going to bleed over to your children. Remember that. Go ahead.
And I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you go upright. Verse 14. if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
He will what?
I will even appoint over you terror.
Yeah, man. Think about it. Just think about our communities. They're terrible. It's nothing but terror and anguish in our communities.
It's true.
A lot of our places, they call them places Chirac. Chirac? Gaza? Those places are war torn, man. But you go into our communities and it's like a war zone. It's like Ukraine out there. It's terror. It's anguish. Go ahead.
That at consumption
Uh-huh.
and the burning
The burning, what is that word? AGUE? What is that? AGUE. See, I like to do this.
Thank you.
Look,
Ague.
let the white man tell me.
Ague.
Ague. Malaria. Ooh,
Yeah.
damn.
It's like
Malaria or some other illness involving fever and shivering.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Fevers and shivering. Sound like coronavirus to me. Sound like monkeypox to me. Right? Blame it on the monkeypox. Right? Most High say you're going to get malaria. Think about how malaria wiped out whole countries. Y'all forget about those malaria outbreaks back in the 80s, 90s? Yeah. Yep. Fever blisters and shivering. Go ahead.
that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall sow your seed in vain.
Yeah, you're going to have these children in vain, man. Why? Because these plagues and diseases is going to wipe them out. Go ahead.
For your enemies shall eat it. Verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you. And ye shall flee.
No, they that love you.
They that hate you.
No, they that are looking out for your well-being.
They that hate you.
No, them that are they looking out for your life and your children and your generations.
They that hate you.
Yeah, they hate you. Don't think because they pay you a wage. Don't think because they matching your 401k. Don't think because they give you
I'm back to the 401k.
they're giving you 30, 70 health benefits. Don't think because they extended Social Security and because they let you win a lotto ticket, a little scratch off. They hate you. They hate us.
But they gave me PTO.
Personal time off. They hate you. They hate you. Because if you don't use it, they take it. It don't roll over. They hate you. They made me a partner. No, they didn't. And a partner in what? Well, they gave me this. They gave it. Okay, cool. But can they give you more than what the Most High can give you? Remember, everything they do is it's nestled. It's nestled in hate. Don't we get it? Think about it. Let's go back to what we read last week about the land Sabbath. Think about what's happening now. Think about how the Most High is making babies starve. Little tender, infantile children are starving. Why? Because your enemy hates you. Because your enemy gave you the feminist movement and said, you know what, ladies? You don't have to breast. They disguise it so wonderfully. Ladies, you can be just like us. But they forgot to tell you that you were the woman that nurtured and breastfed your child. So being like that meant what? What's Esau's whole thing? He's a man of the field. Jacob is a keeper at home. Right? So his woman was at home. If Jacob is at home, where's his wife?
The crib.
Doing what? It says she's a keeper at home. Right? Keeping the home. But Esau said, no. You could be a man of the field. You could just go out into the world and just be worldly. You don't have to be a keeper at home, sis. Like, eat this fruit right here. I got you. Watch. Let me give you this wisdom. You could go out here and get this and get this job and do this and get this job. See, that's the smooth, buttery words. But the knife behind his back was him not telling you that what? Your children were going to be neglected. Listen, I watched this documentary on, my kids are going to like this. I watched this documentary the other morning on, what's his name? XXXTentacion? The little singer, right? I didn't know this. Benjamite. His mom, his dad, Benjamite. Right? But they were doing this, his mom did this documentary, and I guess as soon as he was born, it's typical Israelite thing. His pops just kind of left him and the mom. And so he said it out of his own mouth. He said, man, my mom, she would work to give me everything. And they got videos of him busting open Christmas gifts and getting video games and PlayStations. He was like, my mom would work and kill herself to give me everything material. But she didn't give me no nurture. She wasn't there to nurture me. He used those words. He said she wasn't there to nurture me and give me what I really needed. And if you see this guy's life, I can see why the Most High took him out the way he did and when he did. Because he became abusive. He was beating up on his girl. He would go on camera and just fight people. All types of craziness, all types of madness that if he's one person that could come out and say what was going on with him and what he was lacking, imagine the millions of Israelite children that are going through the same exact thing. All because Esau said, you know what, ladies? You can go out and be a woman of the world. You ain't gotta nurture your children. But they didn't tell you, like, wait a minute, a woman of the world, though, she don't breastfeed nobody. So now you gotta rely on formula. But what happens when they didn't tell you when they decide to cut the formula stream what was gonna happen? Now you got women on camera crying, oh my baby, there's no milk. I'm down to 1 can, and the nigga eats 2 cans in 1 day. Now you gotta import titty milk from all over the world, breast milk from all over the world. Cambodian breast milk, Himalayan breast milk. Now you gotta feed your kid some other woman's breast milk. Now you gotta feed your kids some weird canned milk. Right? All behind what? Being out in them damn streets? All behind what? Seeing what's going on down the block? All behind what? Equal pay? They disguise all that, and now your child is starving. But see, they hate you. They did it because they hate you. They didn't give you birth control, ladies, because they love you. They didn't give you abortions because they loved you. Like, oh, you know what? Abortion, that's going to be good for your... They gave it to you because they hate you. Abortion, food stamps, crack, cocaine, marijuana, malt liquor, all these things. They gave you power because they hate you. Read it again. Let's make sure we read that right.
Verse 17.
They that hate you.
They that love you.
They that hate you.
They're your friend.
They that hate you.
Oh, we're besties.
They that hate you.
Man, that's my girl that's my A1 from day one.
They that hate you.
Go ahead.
Shall reign over you.
They're going to do what?
Shall reign over
We're going to be equal partners in life.
Shall reign over
They reign over you with vigor, with rigor. They don't just reign over you, they destroy you.
That's true.
Read.
And ye shall flee when none pursueth you.
Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Right? You just scared as hell in the mind, man. We just scary ass people. Scared of every little thing. Scared of commitment. Scared of consistency. Scared to be diligent. Every little thing that looks like it's about to be hard, you scared, but you ain't scared of drugs. You ain't scared to be loud and obnoxious. You ain't scared to lie and be disrespectful. You ain't scared of none of those things, but hey, be righteous, be humble, have humility, let go of the pride. Oh no, that's too scary. I'm scared of that. Letting go of the pride? Ooh, can't let go of my pride, girl. Obedience? Oh no.
Subdue your thoughts.
So, why are you stealing Zion's favorite scripture?
It's now my favorite scripture.
Right? Subdue your thoughts, right? Go ahead, read it.
Second Ezra. Second Ezra 14 and 34.
Oh, man.
Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding.
Wait, what? So I can't go off of my own thoughts? Nah, that's scary.
Subdue your own understanding.
No, I don't know if I can do that because my thoughts are supreme.
Subdue your own understanding.
Yeah, go ahead.
And reform your hearts.
Wait, change? So I got to be somebody different?
Reform
Yeah,
your hearts.
Ak, you do. You can't be a crackhead in the kingdom. You can't be a weed head in the kingdom. You can't be a killer and a murderer and a dope dealer in the kingdom. Yeah, sis. You can't be prideful in the kingdom. You can't be a whoremonger in the kingdom. You can't be a hoe in the kingdom. You can't have a hoes mentality in the kingdom. It ain't gonna work. You can't have black and mild breath, alcohol breath in the kingdom. Smell like old McCormick's from a week ago in the kingdom. No. That's not gonna happen. So yes, you gotta be somebody else. You gotta put off the old man and put on the new. Subdue your thoughts, reform your mind. To reform means to change, to repair. Go ahead.
Ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy.
But this is why you just dying, and then after death you're gonna what do you say? You're gonna be raised to contempt and shame. This is what's gonna happen because nobody wants to reform their thoughts. Go back to Leviticus. Was that it for him?
Yes.
Next reader. Anybody? Come on. Oh, baby. Oh, wow. You made the ram's horn look like it's 1,000 pounds in weight. The way you hold it, you're like. Go ahead.
Ramiro Shabbatashah Yashika Bayashala.
Ramiro Shabbatashah Yashikar Bang Yashala. Men of Israel, Hamadim. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Shah Brakatam.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Brakatah.
I thought that ram's horn was like 75 pounds in gold. The way you was holding it, I was like, that thing look heavy. It's the way you It's because you look tense. Like,
Oh yeah, I am tense.
all right, whoa, that ram's horn looks mighty.
I'm still tight from the other day.
Yeah, we gotta hit it tomorrow.
Nice.
We gotta wake up. Gotta understand what's going on. You what you do, this is what you do. Because you see how so many things are starting to come out and be unraveled. All you do is just do a retrace of all the things that's going on and look where it stems from. That's all you gotta do is just retrace all the like, oh, we did a 30-year study on this. We did a 50-year study on this. You're like, damn, 50 years ago, we wasn't doing that. 50 years ago, we weren't doing this. Think about it. They did a 30-year study on formula that it caused little boys to become effeminate because of the soy levels. Because soy equals estrogen. Estrogen equals too much estrogen in a man equals effeminacy, right? That chemical imbalance. They did they studied formula for 30 years. Now I'm 40. So when I was 10 years old, they start doing this study. But think about when they start really coming out with formula. It was around those times when they start giving it in WIC. When they start really giving it in, because WIC, they give you what, like 20 cans a week? I'm going back into my days of WIC, right? Remember that? Yeah, women, infants, and children. And then you get the kicks, you get the couple gallons of milk, a bag of frozen veggies, a brick of cheese, and they give you 23 can milks, powder for the baby, Infamil, Isomac, whatever, right? With Similac, Infamil, Isomil, right? They had all those little brands. But think about it. Think about how many people, think about who was getting WIC. You have to qualify for WIC by being broke and poor, okay? And being in the hood and the ghettos and the slums. Because you couldn't afford that damn can of milk that was $25 a can. It was $25 a can. So they gave it to you for free. Why? Because they hate you. They hate you. Not because let's take care of the young black and Hispanic children. Oh, let's not forget about the little Indians over there on the reservations. Let's take care of them too. They hate you. So they're going to give you tainted milk with a bunch of estrogen so your boys could be soft. Then them same boys, what do they give them? Free weed, medical weed. So they're even softer and lazy. So now you're just soft and lazy. No backbone. Then they give you mamas to raise you. So that heightens the effeminate nature. Come on now, y'all don't see what's going on? Just backtrack. Just backtrack all these different things that are popping up and where do they stem from? There's been many feminist movements. When the serpent came to Eve in the garden, that was the first feminine movement. We failed. Then you come back again, feminine movement, failed. Like it was a failure in every generation. How did it work for Adam and Eve? How the hell is it going to work now?
That's true.
And best believe, the serpent in the garden, he hated Adam and Eve. He hated them. He hated the fact that they had dominion. He hated the fact that they had order and structure. He hated that. So what did he do? Instead of outwardly just destroying, he came with smooth words like the white man does. He came with smooth ideas like the white man does. And if y'all women ain't got no damn backbone and no sense about you, you're going to fall into his agenda every time. And then 30 years from now, we're going to be like, see, damn, well, that happened. And then look what happened 30 years later. He just hit the camera. Move your desk over. Be careful. Move your desk forward first and then move it over. You got to understand what's happening. And who's affected? The children. And guess what? We're affected too, men. We are affected. How are we affected? Because we ain't got no women. We don't have no women that's going to line up with our mentality. We ain't got no women that we can lead. So we're affected because, and not in the way of, I know us up here, Israelite, we ain't affected in the way of how they're affected in the world, chasing them and dying over them and going out their wits. But doesn't it make it harder to build a nation when ain't no women around? Doesn't it make it hard to build a nation when the women that are around are disgruntled, upset, always against, want to be in charge? Nigga, no, it's my way or the highway. No, nigga, you in the doghouse. Don't it make it hard to build anything when I'm not playing the role that I was designed for? A man was designed for one thing, a woman was designed for another, a child was designed for another. And then as they grow, they fall into the roles that were designed for men and women.
Right.
Doesn't it make it hard?
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, look at this life. Look at this world. Come on, look at it. It's hard as hell. What you got?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 24. It says,
Make sure it's on point, but read it.
Nevertheless, through envy of the devil,
Right?
came death into the world.
Yeah, man. Yep. Envy, hatred, jealousy. Go ahead.
And they that hold of his side,
And they that what?
that do hold of his side,
Go ahead.
do find it.
Yeah, you're going to find death and destruction. See, they did y'all just like how they did Eve. Surely if I take these food stamps, my house is going to die. No, your house ain't going to die. Look, you're going to eat, girl. Just get the man out the way. They didn't tell you that when you start having babies, that your children would suffer 30, 40 years from now.
That's true.
50, 60 years. They didn't tell you that. That all the men you was going to raise was going to be soft asses. and homosexuals. They didn't tell you that when you follow their agenda, you're going to have a generation, 2 generations from now, of men that are all faggots. They didn't tell you that. No, they didn't say that. No, they didn't. They didn't tell you that you're going to have a generation of little girls confused, wanting to be men. They didn't tell you about that. Identity crises? Gender association, what do they call it? Where I associate as this? I'm a man, but I associate as a woman? Gender association, right? No? Okay, well, there's so many things. What is it? Gender identify. I don't know. But they didn't tell you that was going to be a damn crisis where now I got to choose what bathroom to use because there's a transgender one too. They didn't tell you that. They gave you all the smooth benefits. But guess what? There's going to be more movements and more propositions and more, what is it when you give a person, more ultimatums. Choose you this day, life or death. I pray that you choose life. Go back to Leviticus. And let's finish it. Let's read.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 18.
Uh-huh.
And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me,
Right?
then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins.
I mean, wow. Come on. How much more can we take? 7 times more than what's going on now? Bro, I'm going to tap out. I tap out the game. I tap out because if it gets 7 times more wicked and 7 times harder, and 7 times 7 times more the contention, 7 times more the pride, 7 times more the hate, 7 times more the negative. Listen, Yahweh, please just take. I don't know how much more I can deal with, man. How much more can y'all deal with? 7 times more the anguish and agony. Ooh. 7 times more the unknowing. Where this ain't about faith, it's about, I don't know if my household is going to survive in a week or 2. Damn. Come on. Why? All because we're not sitting back and seeing what the Most High has been bringing us through. And understanding that we're in slavery, that we're getting punished. Understanding that we've been stripped. That this ain't, you can't turn lemons into lemonade here. Y'all tripping, man. Y'all are tripping. Like, we just gonna turn lemons into lemonade. We just gonna turn pork into pork chops. We just gonna turn chitlins into chitterlings. Hell no. This ain't that. This ain't that, man. This is get the hell up out of here, get right, get up out of here, and move on. What's that, Samakai?
I was going to say, but aren't we considered free? You know, all those things you talked about, feminism, all that came along with the civil rights movement too.
Right?
And they sold us being free to vote and everything, so it distracted men by marching and trying to get the vote. It distracted women with the birth control and the abortions, and we don't want you getting abortions in the alleyways and dying no more.
Right?
So they distracted us with all that. They distracted us with wealth.
Yep.
Okay, because we want to get out of the ghetto and we want to have money. They didn't tell us how to manage the money. They didn't tell us how to be in one with God on how we deal with money.
Yep.
You know, so now our personal wealth is $8, and the wealth of the white person is like $80-something thousand. Our wealth is only $8.
Yeah. $8. And no, they're like in the 250,000s.
Yeah, on up.
Yeah, on up. Like the average white person, his wealth is about 250 grand. The average black person is $8, and then they said in a few years it's gonna be negative. And I believe it. I believe it because you can't access credit, you can't access anything. You can't go take out a loan, right? Because your money's funny and your credit won't get it. Your money's funny, right? Yeah, your credit. Yeah, the way things are set up, the way your bank account, your check-ins, and all that. But she's right. The distraction with all these different agendas. Why did they give you civil rights, men? Because they hate you. Why did they let Martin Luther King march and Malcolm X do his thing and Huey? They hate you. They hated you. They hate you. How come they didn't give you Christ? How come they didn't give you the Most High? They gave you Christianity because they hate you. They gave you Islam because they hate you. They gave you food stamps because they hate you. They gave you ghettos and slums because they hate you. Abortion, all these things because they hate you. Their education because they hate you. Come on, man. Just think about it. Look. I don't know if y'all realize. So, and I'm dealing with it a little bit, but there's this big push to leave a lot of kids back. A lot of the kids that like their first year in school was this year, the pandemic year, really didn't count the online learning. So if they hit school, they got this big push to retain them in the same grade they did the year before. And I'm like, why? Why retain them? Just teach them. You're like, well, it's going to be better for them to build confidence. I'm like, why would you want to just hold kids back? Why would you want them to sit in a grade longer than they need to? But I get it. Now, ask yourself this. They doing that to them white boys in them rich schools? Nope. They got tutoring. They got after school. They got Saturday school, Monday school, this school, that school. They're doing all they can to make sure that they succeed. And they're using the pandemic as a pretense to hold our kids back. Because they're not getting it. Because it's a new situation. And I'm like, bruh, just teach them. Sit down and teach them. But guess what? You can't sit down and teach them. Because you're too caught up in yourself. You're too caught up at work. You're too caught up in what they've already presented to you as how you should orchestrate your life. Remember, children weren't the children weren't part of your life when the white man stepped in. Remember when it said he would take your children and you would grope at noonday and long for them? Mm-hmm. What did y'all think? They was going to walk in your house and just grab your children? Come here, little child, come with me. No, they were going to institutionalize them in ways where you would freely give them up. And then when it's time to corral their minds and correct them, you can't do it because you're no longer an influence. Don't y'all see what's going on? Why do you think you got so many bad children out there? They went to school, they went and got the white man's education. And when mom and dad steps in to correct and corral certain things, they're uncontrollable. So the agenda is already set. The stage is set. But are you realizing it? I try to take as much time as I can to help my son learn. Not just math and reading, but just life, Israelite life, right? I try to take as much conversations as I can to instill in him certain values, right? That we're instilling in all of us, in each other, through the word. I try to take as much time as I can because the white man, his agenda is not to do that. He want to fill them with a bunch of nonsense and make them free thinkers. For what purpose? For his purpose. Free but trapped. Free thinking but not free enough to break away from the norm. Yeah, you free, but guess what? You're going to have to work for me. Because if you ain't working for me, it ain't legit. If it ain't got a trademark behind it with some name, it ain't legit. If it ain't a Fortune 500 company, if it ain't this, if it ain't that, it ain't legit. Hey, take that out of here. You're in the middle of class. No toys up here. Read where we at.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 19. And I will break the pride of your power. And I will make your heaven.
Yeah, what do you ask yourself? What are you taking pride in? Where does your power lie?
Con.
What's your strength? Is it the Most High? Hell nah. Look at what we're going through. What have you idolized and pedestalized? Your woman? Well, I'm going to break her. I'm going to break her down to where she's not a woman. Well, look at what's going on. Look at who wants one of them women out there?
Nah.
Hell nah. They all Cardi B in it. They all Lizzos. They're all Megan Thee Stallions. They're all just clones. Oh, your man? Oh, well, who wants a man from out there? Look at them. They're all swindlers and thieves and dishonest and distrustful and thieves and covetous and murderers. All of them. Yep, I said it. Every last one of them. What? And drunkards. See? And drunkards. And weed heads. Right? All of them. I don't give a damn. All of them. Who wants that? Most High say he's going to break the man down if that's your pride. He's going to break that down. Now you ain't got men. You ain't got women. Oh, your children? I do it for the kids. Well, guess what? He going to break them kids. He going to break them kids down to where they're not profitable. Your car, your house, your job, your this, I'm going to break all that. Or you're just going to be trapped in it. Go ahead.
And I will make your heaven as iron.
Read. What does this sound like? All we reading is Deuteronomy 28. Right? But guess what? He's pre-gaming Deuteronomy 28. I'm gonna give y'all the pre-game. This is the before the club action. Right? We're gonna pre-game this real quick. Here's a few shots. That way when we get to Deuteronomy, y'all are ready. Y'all know what's up. I'm gonna prime y'all up with a few of these verses. Go ahead.
And your earth as brass.
Mm-hmm.
And your strength shall be spent in vain.
Your what?
Your strength shall be spent in vain.
All your strength and sacrifice and commitment and diligence in vain.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Think about all the people that gave themselves to corporations and corporate America and the military, and they got nothing to show for it.
But jumping off a building and killing themselves.
Yup. Or still having to go work for another company after they have put 20 years in one company. Now you got to go work for another because there's no more Social Security, right? That ain't hitting the way it used to. Remember when you used to get them fat Social Security checks? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't remember.
I mean, I heard about it.
But I heard about them, right? But now you got to retire. You got to have millions to retire.
That's true.
Just think about it. Just think about this real quick. Think about what it costs you right now to live. Think about that, right? And y'all working, y'all going to work and doing all that, right? Now think about not having that job and where that money is going to come from. Social Security ain't going to cover all your expense, right? Social Security is what? What is it? A percentile?
It just depends on when you retired and how much you put in.
Yeah, exactly.
I know if I get Social Security, they're going to have to pay me. I've been working since I was 16.
Well, they can tell you they're gonna pay you a certain amount.
And they
then
won't.
they can only give you a
Certain amount because everybody got to pull from the same pot, right? That's the point. So if you got a lifestyle, a certain lifestyle that you're living right now, and then you got to depend on Social Security, you better be ready to downgrade, or be broke, or be homeless, or sell off, or get you that 1-bedroom little shack.
Hopefully you got some good kids.
Hopefully, hopefully you got a man, right? Go to my Kevin Samuels. You better have a man, a godly man. You better have the Most High on your side. But just think about it. There's just the things they've offered in this American society doesn't benefit long term, but you're putting into it. Come on, man. Something like a 401k, you put all that money in, and the pull out penalty, like what? $7,000 penalty just to get $500? Whoa. Okay.
Of your own money?
Of your own money? Yeah, like you can keep what y'all put in, but let me get what I put in. Double tax you? Come on, bruh. And then it's like, how come you didn't invest in the 401k? Because it sounds like a scam. That's why. Somebody is getting that money and I'm not. So I might as well, I mean, what's the point of putting the money anywhere if I'm going to have to be taxed or penalized to get it? I might as well just keep it. Right? I might as well just stack it under the mattress. Right? What's that?
All of it is. I work for the school district, teachers' retirement, and you should hear the penalties if you either do it sooner than you should.
Right.
And even when you get to the end, it's still not enough.
Thank you. That's the point.
It's terrible.
Your strength is spent in vain. Yes. We put all our strength into America just to get minuscule results back. But that's by design. That's by design. And think about it. You're getting all the stories from people before you of the retirement and this and that and that. That's supposed to make you think. That's supposed to, remember he said if they bethink themselves in the land of their captivity, who's bethinking themselves and saying, damn, hold up. So if they suffering off that and they suffering over here and I'm right in the middle, maybe I got to do something different. Maybe I should be looking for a different avenue because it ain't working for them. It ain't working for them. What's going to be so different about my circumstance going forward?
Wisdom.
That's it.
Because I know the dividing line when I wasn't listening to the Most High, okay, and I was making good money, and then when I'm sitting there still making good money, and the Most High dealt with me to quit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And how could I put it?
And you just-
I have more wealth now than when I was making $77,000 a year,
Yeah.
and I'm making half that now.
Because now you know, yeah, yep. Trust me. I live that life. I live that life every day. It's like I got more now, making way, way, way less. We don't make nothing, really, right? But I got more now in these days than I've had jobs making 70. And it's like, damn, I got nothing to show for that. Nothing to show for it. I had nothing. I remember one Christmas. My Christmas check for 2 weeks. I don't even want to tell you how much it was. Y'all gonna be like, hell no, that ain't even real. In 2 weeks, 10,000 plus. No lie. 10,000 plus in 2 weeks. That was just for 2 weeks. Not counting the week, like, I'm like, man, where's that money at? What did I do? I can't remember what I did with that. Probably paid a bill, paid the car. No, like, I don't know. I don't know where that money went. I know at that time, money was just being, it was like every day was the club. And as soon as it went into the bank, it just went into the air. That was just in 2 weeks, 10 grand. This was back when I used to work for T-Mobile. But I sit back and I look and I'm like, man, I made money. I was making money with them. Money. Where did it all go? I lived in an apartment that I didn't even live in. I would just shower there. You know when you got like a $10 water bill for the month? That was my water bill for the month. I didn't even have pots and pans. I never cooked on the stove. I remember when I moved out, you know when you got to clean your stove and do all that stuff? I didn't even have to clean the stove. I never cooked on that thing for the whole year. Think about it. So what was I doing? Blowing money on food outside in the mall and fast food and restaurants and just blowing money. But wasting my strength in vain. My good years, my young, youthful 25, 26, 20, I wasted that. I wish I could have that back for now. Because now I ain't got no damn energy. Now I'm just like praying to the Most High, like give me the strength, just bodily strength. My mind is there, but give me my legs to be able to run around today because I got 50 million things to do. Give me the strength to last past 6 p.m. Right? I can't, like a 12-hour day is like, it's like, damn. 12-hour day and I'm pooped. Wake up at 6, by 6 p.m., I'm like out of there. So imagine when we got class at 7, how I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm relying on the angels to pump strength into me. I'm serious. But at 25, I remember when I was 21, 22, 23, 24, man, energy, sleep. Whew. There wasn't enough time in the day to keep my energy down. Wasted all my good strength, man, on this society. Nothing to show for it. But now a beat up body, a tired body, low testosterone, right? Low T, all that stuff. Trying to rebuild it, trying to recapture those glory years somehow. Just to be able to perform in the truth. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, read on. Speaking of, let me take my pills. Right? Take my herbs.
For your land shall not yield her increase.
Uh-huh.
Neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruit. And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sin. I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle.
Look, there it goes again. There it goes again. The children get got. The children are not exempt. Like what as I was going in earlier, you know, your youth doesn't exempt you from the judgment of the Most High. It says, the beast will rob you of your children.
It actually makes you more susceptible because you're weak. You children are weak as hell because y'all don't know nothing. Y'all don't got it all. Your minds ain't there to watch and be aware. I remember the other day one of the kids start the car. I'm not gonna say which kid did it, but they went out to start the car. My rib told them to go start the car. What do? They leave the keys in the car while the car is running. Because kids don't think. You start the car and just take the keys. That way nobody could just run off with the car and the keys. You can only get so far without these new cars, push start. You can only get so far until that car shuts down with no keys. She left the keys right there on the seat. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because kids ain't aware of the dangers. They're not aware of the things that's happening around them. Those wild beasts, just look at it. That ain't in this day and age. That ain't talking about dogs and rabbits and snakes coming up to big anacondas. That's talking about the white man, these damn predators. It's talking about those wild beasts, those men without wisdom. I was a beast before thee, no understanding. That's what it's talking about in this day. So don't think like, oh, well, there's no anacondas and alligators around. Well, guess what? There's a damn pedophile lurking on every corner in every community, ready to catch you slipping. There's a pedophile everywhere, nestled in, ready for you to go outside and not tell your parents you're out there. Where's Noah? Nobody knows. And then you find out he went outside and didn't say nothing. And the nigga down the block got him. That's how they do it. Read.
And make you few in number. Mm-hmm. And your highway shall be desolated.
You know what's wild? Even, think about this. It said that he will make us few in number. But think about it. Our numbers are crazy. What was it really going to be the few in number was, think about the few of us that unify and really understand. If you understand what this reading is going into, think about the few of us that know who we are and that are ready to stand up for what we believe. That's the few in number. Israel's damn innumerable, right? Like the scriptures say, there is no number. We like the sand of the sea and the stars, but the number of them that are going to understand this word, and the number of them, the labor is plenteous, but the laborers are few. That's that few in number. Who's ready to do this work? Who's ready to commit? Who's ready to hold a standard? That's the few in number. Who's ready to fight and put 10,000 to flight? Not a lot. Not a lot of brothers and sisters. Who's ready to have the discipline of wisdom be their yoke? Not a lot of brothers and sisters, as we can see. I mean, we empty right now. The school's empty, right? It's a Sabbath. Ain't nobody here. Granted, the brothers and sisters that got to go hit the mall, hit the truck. So that's 4 seats, right? Where's everybody else at? It's just us. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And if ye will not be reformed by me, by these things.
See that? Reprove your, what did he say? Subdue your mind, reform your thoughts. He went to the perfect scripture. If you will not be reformed by these things, the punishments, we're supposed to change our minds and reform us and make us repent. Go ahead.
But will walk contrary unto me.
Right.
Then will I also walk contrary unto you,
Mm-hmm.
and will punish you yet 7 times for your sin. Verse 25.
I mean, bruh, how much more, again, can we take? How much more punishment can the black man? The problem with the black man, the problem with Israel is that hard-headed, rebellious people, we could take a lot of punishment. We could take a lot of punishment just because of our pride. The pride in us be so strong, we'll block out the pain. Our pride is so strong, we'll eat chitlins and make it a delicacy. You get past the doo-doo smell, and all of a sudden it don't smell like doo-doo no more. It smells like hot sauce. You get past the pea smell, right? It no longer smells like chitlins. It smells like baked apple pie. That's what pride will do. It'll make you eat poop and think that it's a delicacy. It'll convince your mind. That's what stubbornness. That's why he said stubbornness is like witchcraft. Because being stubborn will make you see whatever the hell you want. Come on, man. Tell me of people that's eating doo-doo guts and thinking that it's good. If I'm eating crap, I'm going to know, damn, this is doo-doo. This is what I'm eating.
Doo-doo,
right? But we convinced ourselves that eating doo-doo is a good thing. Like, oh, it's delicacies. Oh my God, it's so tasty and mouth-watering. And if you just put a little hot sauce and a little bit of this sauce and a little bit of that.
That's a nutty flavor.
Oh my, wow. Corn flavor?
Corn flavor.
It has a slop flavor. Yeah. But we convince ourselves through stubbornness and through pride and through not wanting to be reformed, not wanting to subdue our own understanding. You've convinced yourself that your pride is the way to go, that not having humility is the way, that not having a standard is the way. We've convinced ourselves through pride. That's why it says pride is the beginning of sin. Because pride and stubbornness will make you see whatever you want. It'll make you overlook what's real just for your mind to make up this facade on what you want to see and what you want to believe. It's cold, man. Go ahead.
Verse 25. And I'll bring a sword upon you.
Right.
That shall avenge the quarrel of
the quarrel
of my covenant. And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send a pestilence among you. And you shall...
and that can come in any form. Pestilence can come in any form. That's why you got herpes. That's why you got AIDS. That's why you got gonorrhea. That's why you got head lice. That's why you got bed bugs. That's why you got arthritis. It's true. That's why you got rats, scabies, monkeypox, right? Chickenpox, bird flu, anthrax, measles, polio, right? I mean, how many more things do we need in our community? Right? All types of pestilences, man. Damn. Go ahead.
And ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy.
Right.
And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied. Mm-hmm. And if ye would not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary.
Famine and shortage. 10 women shall break your bread in one oven. Think about that. Famine and shortage, man, of food. Famine and shortage of food. They're going to deliver it to you by weight. What's going on now? Ain't there a famine and a shortage? God. And y'all think it's hitting hard now. They call Ukraine, if y'all didn't know, they call Ukraine the breadbasket of the world because the majority of the world's grain comes from Ukraine. God. The majority of the world's sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds come from Ukraine. The majority. Do you know where all that stuff is? Where's all the grain and all the sunflower seeds in Ukraine? Where's it at? It's all going to Russia. It's all going to Russia. They're waging food wars. They're stealing all the Ukrainian grain and taking it to Russia because they ain't got no food in Russia. They do now. They showing them loading up damn merchant ships full of grain that's supposed to be distributed throughout the world. Grain and barley. He said it. The grain and the barley and the hay. Your livestock. So they gonna starve. And you gonna starve. Why? Because of this. Partly because of this war. Partly because there was already a food shortage. Partly because the Most High is burning down all the fields that they're growing food in America or flooding them. So think about it. Where's the food gonna come from? Y'all better learn how to plant something. Y'all better learn how to grow some basic essentials in the garden. You better train your body to get off wheat. and get off grain. It ain't good for you no way anyway. All that gluten, when it binds up in your body and you get allergies, that's what that's from. Get off the grain. You better learn how to grow some chia seeds and some potatoes and some tomatoes. Some lime. I'm so proud. I got a lime tree growing. I'm so proud. I'm happy. You better learn how to grow some. You better learn how to germinate seeds and sprout seeds. Yeah. Very important. Or what you gonna do? You gonna be eating processed food off the shelf? When the food, when the stores start getting more empty, we already seen it with the baby formula. So when the stores start getting more empty with all the breads and all those different things, when the backlog of warehouse food starts to get empty and they got to start taking stuff and putting it for the high elected officials in NORAD, they got food storage and all those stuff. When they start taking the food from the common citizens and storing it up for the government, what y'all gonna do? How you gonna survive? Now, I'm not saying to go be farmers and just drop the word of the Lord, but you better know how to grow something. You better know how to plant something to be able to reap. Right? Or you just gonna have to eat whatever they give you. You're gonna have to eat whatever they give you, and what if it was chitterlings? Well, all we got is these chitterlings and this boneless pork butt. What y'all gonna do? You gonna starve or you gonna eat some chitterlings? Better get your fasting boots on. Right? Better get your fasting boots on. You better get in the spirit of fasting. Even that. Rehearsing the fasting. Doing that. Why? Because there's gonna come times where it might not be on them shelves. We put too much faith in the white man to feed you. When he wants to cut off the supply, what are you gonna do? If you're not used to fasting. Because you could always chalk it up to that, man. I'm going to have to go on a fast and ration the food, right? But if you're not used to doing it, what's going to happen?
It's true. Undisciplined.
Yeah, you're going to be the undisciplined one running through the food in a week, 2 weeks, starving. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 27. And if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury.
Mm-hmm.
And I, even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sins.
Right?
And ye shall eat the flesh of your sons.
This is what's going to happen. History repeats itself if you don't understand history. I thought you had 5 sons. No, he ran away. One of them. Right? That's what. Come on, man. That's what he was doing in the times of the siege. When they besieged the city and they did it for a year or 2 and the food got cut off, you went down from 5 sons to 4. 4 to 3. Because you had men and women eating their children literally. Yeah. Go ahead.
And the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. And I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols.
Mm-hmm.
And my soul shall abhor you. And I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors.
Yeah, and look at it. Just look at our cities. We don't got no sanctuaries. And the Most High said he's not dealing with our smell, our feast days. He's not smelling at our feasts. He's not dealing with any of that. We're already there. Right? We're already there where the Most High is not dealing with the majority of the nation. So we're already living this. Our job is to not continue in this and to come up out of it, which is what we're doing. Rehearsing the righteous acts, putting ourselves under that yoke of discipline, right? Trying to hold a standard for our people, for each other. Trying to be diligent, consistent, long-suffering. We're trying to come up out of this. Go ahead.
Verse 32. And I'll bring the land into desolation, and your enemies will dwell therein, shall be astonished at it.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Come on, Elijah. When you come up, you got to make sure you read loud. Elijah Shabbat the Shah, Yashakar, Ban Yasha Allah. I might you. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Oh, my Rams weren't blowing the signs. We going to war. Going to war. War ready.
My nose is bleeding.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it dry?
No.
Bro, you can't be. Why'd I do that? No, you need that?
No, I'm good.
Oh. Is this out of nowhere?
I was like,
It's dry.
I guess it was just like stuck up there.
Oh, yeah, you try. Saline. Get like that moisturization. Saline spray. It happens to me. My nostrils get real dry. Where we at? Leviticus 26.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 33.
You know what's dope? The Most High kept giving constant reminders to the people of what was going to happen. So this is Leviticus, right? Still got Numbers, and then we got Deuteronomy, the whole 20, all the way to 28. Remember, have we already hit the 40 years? Did we start the 40 years yet? Or did that happen in Numbers? Where he sent the spies? When did that happen? In Exodus?
That's in Exodus.
Yeah, so we already, in the beginning, we already started our 40 years. So for 40 years, we're hearing this same message. Get right or you're going to go into slavery. Get right or you... Remember, for the 40 years, it was just us. We weren't slaves to nobody. We were only slaves to our own mentality at the time because we didn't want to do the right thing and see what the Most High was trying to bring us to. So we were slaves to the wilderness and the things that were happening in the wilderness. But there was nobody over us as slavery. You see that? We weren't captive to nobody. Y'all see that? So 40-year warning. Dang. 40-year warning, and we still was like, you know what? Sounds good. I hear you out.
Listen,
What?
even when you read in Jeremiah, he's technically begging the Israelites not to do these things, to come out here. I am married unto you.
Yeah, well, by that time of Jeremiah, it was too late.
Yeah.
It was already too late because Jeremiah, remember, Jeremiah was captive to who?
The Babylonians.
Right. Jeremiah was captive to the Babylonians, so it was already too late. The desolation was already going to come.
Right.
All that warning and all that begging and pleading, Jeremiah still came and begged and pleaded.
Right.
But niggas wasn't hearing that. Israel wasn't hearing that. Every man thought they was right in their own eyes. Right? We were living the high life.
Yep.
In these times, of society, we were thinking that we were good. Right? Remember, Jeremiah, who was he banging on the most?
Israel.
Well, no, but who in Israel?
Oh.
Who was he going at?
Judah, Benjamin, Levi.
No, the priests. He was going at the examples. He was going at the heads and the leadership. Right? But what were we following? The leadership. So he was showing that the leaders, they cause you to err, right? They're greedy dogs. Like Jeremiah was the one going into the leadership. Why? Because we're following the leaders thinking that, oh no, we good. Long as we follow them, it's all straight. But then he's coming back like, well, look, these Babylonians are on the way. So get right. I could divert them, but we didn't get right. You see that? Times ain't changed. We're here now, but we know that this next time it ain't gonna be about get right or go into captivity. It's get right or don't make it to the kingdom. Right. So read on. Where you at?
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 33. And I will scatter you among the heathen,
right?
And will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbath
Yeah, like if y'all ain't gonna do what I said about the land Sabbath, I'm gonna just wipe y'all off the land, and the land will the land will be able to get its Sabbath in. If y'all ain't gonna do according to the law, I'll just take you out of it. Isn't it man's doings that always disrupt just the natural progress of things? Yeah, it is. It's our negative doings that disrupt the progress of how the Most High wants things to be. Go ahead.
And ye be in your enemy's land, even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbath. As long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbath.
Sure.
When ye dwelt in it, upon it, and upon them that are left.
Just think about it. When the Most High ran us up out of Israel in 70 AD, what happened to that land? It was unoccupied for a number of years until them fake Jews decided to go back in there in the 1940? What was that, when they tried to go back into the land and make Israel a state? That was like in the 1940s, 1950s. I forget the actual date. But what he said was going to happen happened. We ran out the land, nobody's there. That land is just able to just do its thing. Now you in your enemy's land. But then the sad part is now your enemy gets to go and live in your land and defile it and make it the land of the homosexuals. Tel Aviv has the biggest homosexual parade. They got Pride Month. They give you a week or a weekend here. They get a whole month out there. They make that place open. They say it's the most homosexual lenient place in the world. They're more accepting and more forgiving and more open-armed than any place. You want sovereignty as a faggot? Go to Tel Aviv. And they'll take you in. Of course they will. Because it's the land of the homosexuals. It's the land of Sodom. Go ahead.
And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts in the lands of their enemies, and the sound of a shaken leaf shall chase them.
That's hilarious.
When the wind blows, you get nervous. When the leaves rattle on the trees, you running, looking around. Go ahead.
And they shall flee as fleeing from a sword.
Wow.
And they shall fall when none pursueth.
Like in the scary movies?
Yep.
And they shall fall one upon another as it were before a sword when none pursueth, and ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies, and ye shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up. And they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands.
Yeah, a lot of us are pining away at these jobs, pining away in their building up their industry, pining away in the chasing of the American dream. You pine away at the thought that proud to be an American. I can be just like them. White picket fence, minivan, sports car, pickup truck, 2.5 kids, and a Labrador. How many black and Hispanic and Israelite people died chasing the American dream? Pining away, and then they get pulled over and get shot in the car. Pine away, and then you get pulled over and get deported. Right back to your little whack country. Pine away, I'm building this for my children. Children become crackheads. They don't want nothing to do with you. Pined away for what? To build somebody else's situation. Come on, man. I always talk about it, man. You got people that work at Walmart that can't even put their children through college. And the owners of Walmart are like the second richest people in the Americas. That I forget the dude's name that owns Walmart. Bazillionaire. He could put his children through college for the next 1,000 years, and you could barely even pay rent. Think about it. Just think about it. The average Walmart worker ain't making no money like that. You think they making money to stand at the Walmart door and say hi, welcome to Walmart? And you think they making money to yell at you about your receipt when you walking out? Like, nigga, you ain't making that much money to be checking my receipt and going in on what I'm buying and what I'm not buying.
So true.
But you'll pine away at that job thinking that it's gonna bring you something. Cause I'm defending Walmart. I'm standing up for Target. Target, good old master. I'm defending his product. Like, come on, man. You'll pine away defending their industry. And then got nothing to show. Once again, your children, you could barely feed them. Come on. Look at all you gotta do is look at the wages to the cost of living. We talked about it. Gas it costs me $5.29 to put gas in my tank. I don't know about y'all. But that's what gas is hitting for me. $5.29, right? And that was a few days ago, so it's probably at $5.60 now.
Yep.
Think about it. Minimum wage is $7. So if I work for an hour at minimum wage, 75% of my income would go to my gas if I had to put gas in the car. I only have like $2 left over, $1 and some change left over. What that's gonna get? When bread costs $3, when milk costs $6, when a carton of eggs is $11. What are you gonna get? When rent in Houston is up 20%. Just Houston. And Houston ain't like it's somewhere glorious to be. Smells like crab and hot diapers. Like, who wants to be here?
I got a definition for pine.
What you got? Waste.
Pine. To lose vigor,
Ooh, damn.
health,
Oh.
or flesh.
Wow. To lose your health. How many of our people are sitting up in these jobs?
Pining away.
Pining away, man. You got one leg and you got Walmart standing up greeting. You in a wheelchair. They got the wheelchair greeter. He done been at Walmart for 50 years. Done died at the damn Walmart. Died in front of Target. He coming out in a wheelchair dropping off your Chick-fil-A. He done been in Chick-fil-A since they opened. I mean, come on. I know, right? I mean, just think about it.
Yeah, that's right.
You'll die at this job. Because if you're not putting in that 20, 30 years, guess what you're not going to get? Ain't no retirement for a person that worked 5 years. Ain't no retirement, ain't no benefits at all.
Yeah, you
Go
gotta
ahead.
finish.
No, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish. Go ahead.
Languish.
Languishing. The gates thereof languish. Go ahead.
To yearn intensively and persistently, especially for something unattainable.
Oh, wow. That American dream is unattainable, folks.
Con.
I always say it. To dream, you got to be sleeping. When you're daydreaming, you're not watching. So, what are you working for? Well, it says you're pining away for something that's unattainable. You'll never be like your enemy because they hate you. They're going to make sure of it. You could sit there like the Bible says and be in the neck of your enemies, right? And rub elbows and do all that. But guess what? You'll never be the head. You'll never run things for real. Oh, they made me a manager over at the car wash. Cool. So you a manager, so you made a whole 50-cent bump in pay raise. Cool. But what about the cat that's making the money? What about the owner of the car? He'll never make you an owner, a co-owner. He'll never let you franchise. Because where's the capital at? Look at that water bill when it comes. You ain't ready to pay that. He'll let you run the other employees, because that's all a manager does. He'll let you deal with all the disgruntled ass employees there. Like sisters, I'm a manager at the Kmart. Yeah, all you dealing with is disgruntled ass employees and disgruntled people buying things. I'm the manager of customer service. That's the worst job to have. Because all you're doing is dealing with mad people that want to return broken stuff. Yep. And you think like, oh, see, I made it. This is going to get me into the kingdom. No, it's not. It's going to get you to something that's unattainable. But you're going to have death. You're going to have high blood pressure. You're going to have anxiety. You're going to have fear. Your kids are going to suffer because they ain't going to see you. right? Your family is going to languish. You're going to languish as a person. You're going to get all those benefits, but guess what? What your white owners got, you ain't never going to get that. Freedom, you could barely even get a vacation without worrying about, gotta get back. You're on vacation worrying about getting off vacation. Come on now, is that a way to live? When white people, their life looks like every Corona commercial. That's how I look at white people. I'm like, damn, their life is like a Corona. Me and Kazak was talking. It's funny. He was headed to class on Thursday. And he's like, I guess he was rolling to the school and they got to go downtown or whatever. And he's like, man, Esau's out here living it up. They just sitting at the bar. He said, they just drinking. You can see them outside on their little patio. He said, man, Esau's just having a time of their life right now. Yep. And I said, Con, they are living it up. Life is a beach for them, and it's a bitch for us. Right? Life is a beach for them. The Corona commercial with the blue waters, right? With the crystal clear water. For us, it's Galveston. Dirty water that eats your skin. Sand that got glass in it that cuts your feet. The sand is so hot it burns you. Right? Their beach is the white sand that, you step on it and it just gently falls through your toes. It gently warms your feet. Right? It don't get all up in your car. Not that sand. That sand stays at the beach. You got that sand, and when you go home, you're like, damn, where the hell did this sand come from? It's annoying. Yep. It's prickly. It's cutting you. Yep. It got seaweed all up in it. That's the difference. But you'll pine away trying to get the white sand, trying to get the blue water. Mm-hmm. It's like, nigga, you live on a whole different side of the world. There ain't no blue water that exists. Ain't no white sands over here in Galveston. Why? Because it's polluted. Why? Because pollution is being pumped. So you're not going to get the white sand. You're not going to get the blue waters. You're not going to get the perfect temperatures. You're not going to get that ocean smell. Yep. You won't get, damn, smells like Texaco. Smells like Shell oil. That's what you're going to get. Damn, what's all that? Damn, it smells like dead crabs in the water. That's what you're going to get. Why? Why? Because of our sins. Because of the way we do things. Because the lack of wanting to follow and be under the Most High. So you'll get Texaco water. You'll get refinery spill off. I mean, come on. You know how many people's in Galveston right now? Yep. Trying to swim in oil? How the hell are you swimming in gas water? And they loving it, drinking it, gargling with it. Yep. Letting it get in there. Bruh, they let that water get in their throat. Oh. They let that water get in their eyes. And just, good old Galveston. Good old LaPorte. Right? Good old, what was it? Bro, LaPorte is right next to the refineries. Good old Kima. Like, nigga, Kima is a boardwalk, and then you look to this side and there's nothing but plants and smoke coming up, and you like, wait a minute. So where does all the refinery waste go? Into the agua. Y'all don't remember about the story about Galveston? The water was eating people's skin.
Yeah. Flesh-eating bacteria. Oh my gosh,
that's what you got. That's what you got because why? Your mentality. You don't want to deal with the Most High the right way. So he's going to give you all those things. While you're oppressor, you see the sister's scarf? You see Cassandra's hair wrap? That's the water they get. Yep. That water is blue and crystal. You could see your reflection. You can see the little fishies swimming. You can see your feet in the water. Mm-hmm. You can walk out knee deep, 200-300 yards, and it's just knee deep. Yep. You can see all the foliage, right? All the coral reef. Seen that before. Woo! Yep. Right? And you like, damn, that's dope. Yep. You don't get that. Yep. You don't get that. You get rough waves. You get dark water when you pick it up. I remember one time I went to the beach in New York. I went to Jones Beach. I remember I picked that water up and looked at it. And maybe I was tripping, but there was things in the water moving. I just remember seeing little white spots in the water moving. And maybe the water was moving in my hand. I don't know. But I seen that, and I never went back to that beach. I got out the water. I'm like, wait a minute, this is weird. This is weird. Like, why is the water brown with little white movie spots? That's your water. With plastic bottles all over the beach. And 6-pack container holders all over the beach. Animals dying. That's what we get. That's what we deserve. You don't deserve blue water. You don't deserve perfect temperatures. You don't deserve white sands. Because when you had it, guess what you did? You peed in the sand. You pooped in the sand. You ate pork in the sand. You committed adultery in the sand. So now it's defiled. I'm using this beach life. I keep seeing these Corona commercials with Snoop Dogg. And it looks so appealing. Right? And you're like, damn, I want that. You be in the middle of a snowstorm like, oh my God. That's what life is? That's what life is for certain people, not for us. We don't deserve it. Go ahead, read.
And also in the iniquities of their fathers shall...
So the point is, you'll pine away trying to attain that. You'll kill yourself trying to attain that. And all you're going to do is just die. You're going to die on your beach. You're going to die in your house, in your shack. You're going to die at your job. You're going to die in their industry. You're going to die under their rule, following and chasing their mentality. Remember, America is nothing about... I don't know if y'all understand what America is about. Think about it. You got a bunch of people just set up condolences for 19 people that got killed in a damn school shooting. And guess what they're doing this weekend in Houston? 200 miles away from the shooting. They're having a gun convention where they're trying to convince people to buy more guns. The NRA is here in Houston. Did y'all know that?
No.
Yeah, that's their convention this week. It's Memorial Weekend. Every Memorial Weekend, they pick a city. They're here in Houston, 200 miles away from the shooting, telling people to get more guns. Buy more guns. Ease gun laws. I mean, how retarded is that?
Wow.
The same place that's crying for kids that died is the same place trying to lower the age of consent. I mean, bruh, really? The same place that cried for 19 children is the same place that allow a man to go into a child's bathroom. That allow a man to go into a woman's bathroom. That allow a man a grown-ass man to be on a kid's team because he don't want to be a man no more.
Yep.
Because he wants to be a woman's. Right? Come on now. So me, I'm like, I'm not crying for them damn kids. Because y'all's crying is fake. This is Babylon. This is confusion. How you gonna mourn for kids that died and be all outraged and be all up in arms, but then you got a bunch of kids at the border separated from their children?
Damn right.
These damn kids they were separated for an hour. You got kids been separated for 6 months, a year, dying in their own feces. I mean, which is it? Do you mourn for the kids, or do you rip them from their parents and put them in cages?
Sleeping in foil.
But think about it. What are you pining away for? What are you pining away for? Think about this. I'm gonna hit y'all with this one, and this one really bothers me a lot. Who in here got T-Mobile for a phone service? Okay, so guess what you do and I'm not telling you to go cancel all your phones and don't communicate or anything like that, but you know when you pay your phone bill, you know what good old T-Mobile does with some of that money? Yep, they pay for people to go get transgender reassignment. Believe it or not.
Wow.
You know when you Starbucks. You know what Starbucks does when you go get your nice little crispy cup of coffee with your caramel frappe latte, caramel mocha? You know what they take some of that money and do? Any employee that wants to go get an abortion, they'll pay for them to go to a city or country that supports abortion. Now that's just two that I named. Now think about it. They all got something about them. If you go and you research enough, you'll see like, oh, they support this. I just seen a commercial with the NFL. It says the NFL is, and it said gay.
Oh,
I was like,
that.
whoa. Then they changed it and it said bisexual. I was like, huh? Then it was like loving. Then it just said NFL and it changed all these words. And then the NFL logo. Dun, 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 dun,
In the rainbow color.
was just rainbowed out. I was like, I mean, we already knew it was gay. We already knew it was slavery. But now they just pushing it right into your face. Now they smacking you with the gay stamp. Bam! Right in your mouth. Right in your mouth. Right? Everything that's out there that we pine away to support and to put into, guess what the agenda behind it is? To further destroy. It's like we pay for our own destruction. We pay for our own ridicule. We pay for it, man. Why? Because we decided that our enemy was more worth the Most High. So now you're going to pay for people to get transgender reassignment. Just by paying your little phone bill. Just because you want the new iPhone 13 Pro Max. Well, half of that iPhone 13 just got little Timmy's penis cut off. Yep. Because you want your frap. Well, half of that $6 just got a baby aborted. There you go. I'm against abortion. That Starbucks in your hand? Now, I use those too because everybody knows those companies, right? But think about the ones you don't know about.
It's true.
Right? Why do you think Cats is going against Nike? Slave labor. Why do you think people went against Apple? Slave labor. Those are another two, right? But what you gonna wear? Reebok? Well, I'm pretty sure they got slave labor too. Well, Adidas, I'm pretty sure they got slave labor also. You just ain't heard about it yet. Well, I'm gonna go get me an Android. Well, hey, I'm sure those North Koreans and South Koreans is putting people under slave labor also. The point is you won't escape it. The world is given into the hands of the wicked. But the problem is you don't have to support it. Or no, let me retract that statement. There was a point in history. There was a point in life where you didn't have to be subjected to any part of it. But we chose to be. Even if you're not aborting babies yourself, you're supporting it third party. 7 degrees of separation. You're supporting it. Even if you don't believe in it, guess what? You still support it because you're now given into this wicked society. That's the point I'm trying to show you. I mean, y'all get what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying go cancel every phone bill. Oh, well, I can't communicate because, you know what I'm saying? My phone bills go into abortions and transgenderism. The point is, it doesn't matter who you got. Go look into all of them. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Metro, this, that. Just look into it. They all got something that they support that you're like, I'm not with that. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You are with it because you wasn't with the Most High. That's why we're with it. Y'all see that? It don't matter what coffee you go get. It was got wickedly. Somebody's land got robbed to grow that coffee.
That's true.
Right? Somebody's land got robbed to grow those bananas. Somebody's land got robbed to eat them pineapples. So, oh, I'm a vegan. Well, guess what? That ain't America's land that's growing them crops. Well, I eat meat. Well, guess what? How they doing them animals? What they feeding? Like, we can go into everything. But I'm trying to show y'all it didn't have to be like that. It didn't have to be like that, but we chose wrong. Y'all get it? So don't go start canceling your phones and we can't get a hold of you. You like, well, Father's Op said. Don't blame me because your phone bill is going to the transgender movement. Don't blame me. Blame yourselves. Don't blame. I got T-Mobile too. When I heard that, I was like, wait, hold up, what? I've been with T-Mobile. I've been with T-Mobile since the voice stream days with Captain Zeta Jones. I've been with them since 2003. Think about that. It's almost 20 years with one company. I done did a whole life investment. I done pined away in T-Mobile. Let me call T-Mobile right now and say, hey, I need y'all to forgive one bill. Them niggas look at me like, you crazy. Like, I've been with y'all 20 years. Let me get something free. Nope. They ain't calling me to give me nothing free after 20 years. Nope. Pining away thinking what? I'm gonna be a 20-year vet. They gotta have something for the veterans. Nope. I got this bill for you with extra taxes, with hidden fees, and if you don't pay that bill, we cutting you off. So what are you working for? What are you working towards is the question. That's the question. What are your efforts going into? Like it says, you gave your strength in vain. What did it go to? What is it still going to? Read on.
Shall they pine away with Leviticus chapter 26, verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespass against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised heart be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbath, while she lieth desolate without them, and they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgment, and because their soul abhor my statutes, and yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord their God.
We got a lot of work to do is what this is saying. We got a lot of getting back to get back to. A lot of work. Go ahead.
But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am the Lord. These are the statutes, judgments, and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai.
That's hilarious.
By the hand of Moses. Leviticus chapter 27, verse 1. And the Lord
Right.
spake
Any
unto
question?
Moses-
Any questions on that? No. Okay.
Leviticus chapter 27, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
That's it.
Con sir, been with the T-Mobile for 17 years. Thought the same way. No look out for me, but they will remind me. Thanks for being a loyal customer for 17 years. Yep. You stated on the priest, I'm growing tomatoes and strawberries. Yeah. I got it. Man, you got to see the tomato plants that I got going. It's filthy. I got so many I gave some to the neighbor. Neighbor eating tomatoes. Con, as hard as it makes it for women taking care of children alone. Gender identity. $8. Yeah. I'm just going through some of the comments. God. Yep. Next reader, right?
Yes, sir. I'm a one Isaiah, Shabbat Shah, Yahweh, Bang Yashala, Men of Israel, Hamadu, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Brakatham.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Oh. Sit up. Make sure you're reading along. Got me? What's wrong? You good? Huh? Nah. If you start getting sleepy, stand up. If it was Fortnite, bro, you'd be wide awake. Right or wrong? Okay. If you start getting sleepy, stand up. It's turn up time. Turn up! Go ahead, read on.
Leviticus chapter 27 and verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when a man shall make a singular vow, the person shall be for the Lord by thy estimation. And thy estimation shall be of the male for 20 years old, even unto 60 years old.
Right, so this is going to go, obviously this is going to switch topics. It's going to switch topics, right? And it's going into 20 years. Right, when you're vowing a person to the sanctuary. Go ahead.
Even thy estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver after the shekel of the sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
And if it be a female, then thy estimation shall be 30 shekels. And if it be from 5 years old, even unto 20 years old, then thy estimation shall be of the male 20 shekels. And for the female, 10 shekels.
So there was a price put on, there was a price put on a person depending on their age, their gender, if they were vowed to the temple. You see that? There was a price to be able to, there was a price that they were redeemed for, or that you would pay for them. Go ahead.
And if it be from a month old, even unto 5 years old, then thy estimation shall be of the male 5 shekels of silver. And for the female, thy estimation shall be 3 shekels of silver. And if it be from
But we want equal pay. It was never equal, sis. Even when they priced, in this situation, the boy was always worth more than the girl. Because gender matters. The man can do things that the woman couldn't do, and vice versa. So, y'all begging for equal rights and justice, but it wasn't equal here. Go ahead.
And if it be from 60 years old and above, if it be a male, then thy estimation shall be 15 shekels.
Yeah, even the male at a different age, his worth was different, because if he was older, there was less that he could do. The young prime 21 to 50, he was worth more, I believe. Go ahead.
And for the female, 10 shekels.
Uh-huh.
But if he be poorer than thy estimation, then he shall present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him. According to his ability that vowed shall be the priest value him. Right? Shall the priest value him. And if it be a beast, wherefore men bring an offering unto the Lord.
Right, so this was if, just reiterating, this is if you decided to dedicate either yourself or your family to the priesthood, to the temple, as a servant. There was a price that you would be, there was a price of estimation that was put for your age and gender. So you dedicated yourself, but then your family can get money for you. Right? And depending on your age, because it all went, your age and your gender was all about what your ability was going to be able to be.
Right.
You couldn't be 70 years old and expected to do what the 50-year-old was doing. You couldn't be 50 expected to do what the 30-year-old was doing. Age mattered. Right? Mm-hmm. Just like in here, we got older brothers, right? We got brothers that's 50, we got brothers in their 60s, we got brothers, 40. I don't expect brothers that's 60 to do what I'm doing. Right? But I damn sure expect you younger brothers to be able to last and run with me. You can't get more tired than me. I'm tired, Doc. Nah, hell nah, you ain't.
Mm-hmm.
If I can do it, then you got to do it. If I got to push, then you got to push. Right? But I don't expect an older man to do what a younger man can do. But there's still something that you can do. What is it showing? There's still a worth. Right? Even when you read about the priests, they basically retired from the duty of sacrificing the service of the temple at 50. They didn't just leave and just go out into the damn sunset. Like, oh yeah, I retired, and they just ride off on their horse. Bro.
They go to that beach with the white
They go to the beach. No. They use their brains now. They start using their brains more, so we need counselors. We need examples. We need elders. We need leaders. Vocal leaders sometimes, right? Because you do need vocal leaders. You need people that's going to incite the men and the women through their words. They may not be able to put in that work, but at least they did put in the work, right? When I turn 50, when I turn 60, 70, y'all expect me with my old knees to be out there with y'all? But you best believe you could say, well, his works up until that time, and best believe I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it as long as I can be on this earth and I can walk. I'm going to try to be out there. Running around, pop into the mall, pop in this, do this, run over here, do that. I'm going to try to do it all. As long as I can see here and walk. Yep. I'm going to do it. I'm going to push myself. But there's going to be things that I'm not going to be able to do. Right? But I'm going to have to live off my own coattails on that. Like, well, I did it. Now you just got to hear my words and my experience and my wisdom. Hopefully I got that. You see that? But what am I trying to show y'all? You got older brothers that, I'm useless. No, you're not. Study, take your tests, get your mind right, and be an example. Sit up on the podium and teach. That's your use. Okay. But if you disqualify yourself because you are an aged man and you don't do the things that you can do, like use your damn brain, then, yeah, you are useless. Sorry. Just like a woman. Aged women, right? It didn't say that aged women run around and be the Proverbs 31 woman because they can't run around and do all that when they're aged. Samakaya, I use her for an example. She can't run around town, right? She's an aged woman. So what can she do? Vocally. Keep her head in the book, keep her mind in the word, keep her spirit aligned, and then vocally be able to help out the younger sisters. She'll come to class and she'll see certain things and, hey sis, no, you know what? You shouldn't move like that, or you shouldn't do this, or you should do, or you shouldn't do. Right? But we can't be like, hey, Samakaya, let's go to the mall, sis. We need you here to do bath bombs and like that ain't gonna work. Right? That ain't gonna work. Hey, we know you 70, but listen, we need you on the truck, brother. We need them old 70-year-old knees to lift a fridge. What? Even at 40, my knees ain't supposed to be lifting no damn fridge. That's why we got McGunn, right? He's a young, bustling 28-year-old with strong 28-year-old knees that are so strong. They're so strong, he could kick doors down. Right?
He can kick a door and it turns into juice.
Kick a door and it turns into dust. Right? But think about it. As they start to age, what's going to happen? We need younger generation, young blood. You always got to have that young blood around to be able to carry the mantle. Not to just put the yoke on them and make them work, but that too. But the mantle has to be carried or else momentum stops. But again, once I'm not able to run to the mall and do this, all of a sudden I just disappear? Nah. Somebody's going to get me into the wheelchair, right? Build a ramp at the podium and ramp me up, and I'm going to sit right here and go in. Right? As long as I got a voice, as long as I can speak, as long as I got a voice, my kids are going to push me up on the ramp, and I'm going to go in, and they're going to wheel me down, right? And they're going to put me in the car, take me to the house, and lay me into bed. Then I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Then I'm going to see y'all. No, hopefully I'm still walking. I'm going to still be walking.
Yeah, you're going to keep your vigor.
Yeah, I got to, man.
Like Moses.
I got to. I don't want none of it to diminish. As much as I'm trying, it's hard. But I can feel it. I can feel all the 40 years of just sports and running around and no sleep, I can feel it. You feel it after a while, and you can't make up for it really.
Sure.
You can only just try to, mitigate the further damage by getting some rest, eating right, taking your medicines, herbs, keeping your mind, keeping your spirit right with the Most High.
There'll always be a remnant,
It was all but we're having to. There will always be a remnant. Yes, you're right, and we got to be, that remnant gotta be. They gotta see what's to be done. They're looking at us, right, to see what's going to be done. So, yeah, go ahead, read on.
Leviticus chapter 27 and verse 9. And if it be a beast whereof men bring an offering unto the Lord, all that any man giveth of such unto the Lord shall be holy. He shall not alter it, nor change it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall at all change beast for beast, then it and the exchange thereof shall be holy. And if it be any unclean beast, of which they do not offer a sacrifice unto the Lord, then he shall present the beast before the priest. And the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad, as thou valuest it. Who art the priest, so shall it be. But if he will at all redeem it, then he shall add a fifth part thereof unto thy estimation. And when a man shall sanctify his house to be holy unto the Lord, then the priest shall estimate it, whether it be good or bad. As the priest shall estimate it, so shall it stand. And if he that sanctified it will redeem his house, then he shall add the fifth part of the money of thy estimation unto it.
So we were given all types of things. You could give anything to the priests. You can give them a house. You can give them a person from your family. Whatever it was, there was a price. And then if you want it, you just have to give, you pay the price plus a fifth part of the price to get it back, to redeem it. Go ahead.
And it shall be his. Verse 16. And if a man shall sanctify unto the Lord some part of a field of his possession, then thy estimation shall be according to the seed thereof. And homer of barley seed shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver.
16. Yeah. Next reader? Oh, there is no next reader.
Go ahead.
Ben's not here. Yeah. You can go.
I can read two. Or let him read another one. You can read two.
Verse 17. If he sanctify his field from the year of Jubilee, according to thy estimation, it shall stand. But if he sanctify his field after the Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon unto him the money according to the years that remain, even unto the year of the Jubilee, and it shall be abated from thy estimation. And if he that sanctified the field,
Is Magana here?
yeah, he's walking it.
Okay, we'll let him do it. We'll salute him in. See, brothers making moves. Young knees. Look at that.
This is the cards.
Yeah. That right there.
Oh,
I haven't even used it. Boy, hit hard.
it's going to jump right back up.
I'm not using it though.
Magana War, Shabbat Yehuda, Banya Shirala.
Magana War, Shabbat Shah, Yehuda, Bang Yashala, men of Israel, Amadim, Barak, Magana War, Shabbat Shah, Yehuda, Bang Yashala, men of Israel, Amadim, Barak, Magana War, Shabbat Shah, Yehuda, Bang Yashala, men of Israel, Amadim, Barak, Magana War, Shabbat Shah, Yehuda, Bang Yashala, men of Israel, Amadim, Barak, Magana War, Shabbat Shah, Yehuda, Bang Yashala, men of Israel, Amadim, Barak, Magana War, Shabbat Shah, Yehuda, Bang Yashala, men of Israel, Amadim, Barak, Magana War, Shabbat Shah, Yehuda, Bang Yashala, men of Israel, Amadim, Barak, Magana War, Shabbat Shah, Yehuda, Bang Yashala, men of Israel, Amadim, Barak, Magana War, Shabbat Shah, Yehuda, Bang Yashala, men of Israel, Amadim, Barak, Magana War
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakdam.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Yeah, we're not gonna do the Apocrypha because I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to let VA and Rochester catch up to where we are. For some reason, we got a few chapters ahead of them. So, and they're not doing class today because they're headed out to DC to rebuke the holidays, right? There's a unity camp out there with I believe the House of David, or I think it's the House of David. But they're all meeting up out there in DC, so they're about to go in. So they're not doing class, so we're not going to do the Apocrypha because I want them to catch up. We're at chapter 8 in Wisdom of Solomon. I think they're in chapter. What chapter were they at?
6.
They're in chapter 6. They're going into 6? Mm-hmm. Right. So they're probably not going to do that because they're going to do it next week. So we're gonna hold off on the Apocrypha until they catch up, until they get to 8. Then we'll all be on the same page, right? Same mind, same judgment, same accord.
Done.
We do it like that. That way, when we switch schools and brother, like if Kazak comes here and I go there, there's no guessing of what we're doing. It's all the same. The only thing that's different is the days of when we do things, but there's no guessing game. It's the same reading. It's all the same. That way we can keep things a little bit more uniform. Just easier, unity, one mind. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 27, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
If he sanctify his field from the year of Jubilee, according to thy estimation it shall stand. But if he sanctify his field after the Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon unto him the money according to the years that remain, even unto the year of the Jubilee. And it shall be abated from thy estimation. And if he that sanctified the field will in any wise redeem it, then he shall add the 5th part of the money of thy estimation unto it, and it shall be assured to him. And if he will not redeem the field, or if he have sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed any more. But the field, when it goeth out in the Jubilee, shall be holy unto the Most High, as a field devoted. The possession thereof shall be the priest. And if a man sanctify unto the Most High a field which he hath bought, which is not of the fields of his possession, then the priest shall reckon unto him the worth of thy estimation, even unto the year of the Jubilee. And he shall give thine estimation and the day as an holy thing unto the Most High. In the year of the Jubilee, the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought, even to him to whom the possession of the land did belong. And all thy estimation shall be according to the shekel of the sanctuary. 20 gerahs shall be the shekel. Only the firstling of the beast, which should be the Lord's firstling, no man shall sanctify it. Whether it be ox or sheep, it is the Most High's.
Yep. I was going to get sacrificed. Go ahead.
And if it be of an unclean beast, then he shall redeem it according to thy estimation.
Right, because remember, there were unclean beasts. There were dogs. There were pigs. Right? Why? Because you use those animals for their function. Right? Not to sacrifice and eat, but we know what pigs do. They keep the area clean. We know you use dogs to do what? To shepherd animals, companions, right? Things like what?
To eat waste.
Right, that's what pigs do, to eat waste. So you had unclean animals around, but we didn't sacrifice or eat them. Camels, you had donkeys, asses. It's an unclean animal. You use it for transport. Camels you use for transport. So unclean animals, don't think that they weren't around us and we didn't have them. Yes, you just weren't supposed to touch a dead unclean animal, and you weren't supposed to sacrifice an unclean animal or wear its carcass or live inside of its carcass, like Bear Grylls. Right. Boil his eyeballs, all that stuff. Go ahead.
And shall add a 5th part of it thereto. Or if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to thy estimation. Notwithstanding, no devoted thing that a man shall devote unto the Most High of all that he hath, both of man and beast, and of the field of his possession, shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto the Most High. Non-devoted, which shall be devoted of man, shall be redeemed, but shall surely be put to death. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is the Most High's. It is holy unto the Most High. And if a man will at all redeem aught of his tithes, he shall add thereto the fifth part thereof.
Verse 32. And concerning the tithe of the herd or of the flock, even whatsoever passeth under the rod, the tenth shall be holy unto the Lord. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai.
Right, so that's the end of Leviticus. So next week we'll start Numbers. Yeah. By, what is it? That's every 6 months. We go through the whole first five books. When did we start Genesis? I don't remember. But where are we going now? We're going to Jeremiah. Any questions on the Old Testament? Before we go to Jeremiah 16?
We're going to Jeremiah 16 and verse 19.
Yep. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
And that's happening on a small scale. You got these heathen coming and saying, yeah, the real children of Israel are the blacks and Hispanics, and you got a few of them teaching that they were lied to in history. You got a lot of people that they know it, and they're coming out and saying it, not on a full scale, because they're not going to do it on a full scale, but they're going to do it, and they are doing it. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahweh. Chapter 17, verse 1. The sins of Judah is written with a pen of iron, and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the tables of their heart.
You know, when you use a diamond, that thing is like one of the hardest stones, right? When you got something that's diamond cut, that thing is precise. It's etched in there forever. Right? He said our sins is brave with the point of a diamond. Precise. We precisely went against the commandment. There was no guessing. Like, what did we do? What are they up to? It's apparent what we did, what we're doing. Go ahead. And you're not going to just erase this. It's an iron pen. There's weight. You ain't just going to be able to get an eraser and just erase these things out the history books. They're there for us to see. Go ahead.
And upon the horns of your altar, which your children remember their altars, and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills. On my mountain in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin, throughout all thy borders. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
Yep.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger.
So all you got to do is ask yourself, what people on the earth have the Chinese discontinued from what they were from ages? The Japanese, the African, the white man, has he discontinued even though he's overtaken a lot of different nationalities and assimilated as a lot of different people, cultural appropriated himself? Has he really discontinued from being the wild, beastly man that he is, bloody meat eater, pedophile? No. They haven't discontinued from his heritage of his blessing, the sword, right? We're the only people on this whole entire planet that are landless, languageless, and cultureless. We're the only people that don't got their own land, their own culture, their own belief, their own education system. We're the only ones where we got to go to somebody else to educate us, to feed us, to clothe us, to tell us who we are. Ancestry.com. Well, I went to Ancestry.com. They told me I'm half Cambodian. I'm 50% Cambodian. Nigga, Cambodian wasn't even a nationality a few hundred years ago. Cambodia is a country. I'm 50% Cambodian, 25% Scandinavian, and 5% Norwegian. The other 15% is unknown. Like, what? So you're unknown. But then you got a brother that everything else, he's 50% African, 10% Nigerian, a quarter Cherokee. Like, what the hell are you talking about? We're the only ones that do that. Because we're the only people that fit this prophecy. And this curse, it was a prophecy that was changed into a curse because we lived the prophecy, we fulfilled it. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Thus saith the Lord. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
Ain't that been our downfall? First of all, we trust in ourselves. We idolize and pedestalize our own selves, our own minds and egos. Then we trusted in our oppression. Go ahead.
And maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
For he shall be like a heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabited. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, whose hope is in the Lord, whose hope the Lord is, For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
I mean, think about it. The whole pandemic season, Cass was trying to figure out, where's that water going to come from? Where am I going to die in this drought? And guess what we didn't worry about? We didn't worry about any of that.
Gone.
We got a chance to get on the phone and talk and hang out with each other. I think we ate more, drank more, and traveled more in that time than in any time. We wasn't worried about where's it going to come from. We just trusted in the Lord and understood that we're all going through something. That the whole camp, all the camps, was in this situation of not being able to go out there and make money and move around and travel, but we still made the best of it. While the whole world was worried about the drought of money, the drought of being able to hit the lanes, we were like, life goes on for us. Still got class, right? Still got feast days. Even though it was scaled down, we had Passover in his house. We did class from his house, right? When we couldn't do we just business as usual. We didn't worry about those things. We trusted in the Lord. Our leaf didn't grow green. Our fruit didn't wither. Go ahead.
Verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Your mind, bro. Your mind, your mind is attached to that ego, which deceives you into thinking that you woke yourself up this morning. You got yourself ready. You're doing these things. No, you're not doing. You're allowed to do these things. Most High allowed you to wake up. He allows you to go to work. He allows that heart of yours to pump that blood. He allows you to take a breath. He said if you take his breath, all flesh will die. He allows the air to be here for you to breathe in and breathe out. He allows it. It ain't nothing that you're doing. You just exist. Where we at?
Verse 10.
Jeremiah 17:10. I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Like it says, I believe in Galatians, the Most High is not mocked. Every man shall reap what he sows. As the partridge, check it out, sitteth on the eggs and hatcheth them not, which is foolish, right? So he that getteth riches and not by right shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at his end shall be a fool. Think about what bird sits on their eggs and just gets up and don't hatch their eggs. What?
Chickens?
No. They don't hatch their eggs so you take them. The whole purpose of a bird sitting on their eggs is to incubate and hatch the eggs. But what he's saying is just like a bird that pops out eggs and wastes time sitting on them, nothing comes forth. If you chase riches the wrong way, you're just going to leave them off in your life anyway. You're going to die, somebody's going to steal them. Mm-hmm. Right? If your treasures are here on earth, moth and rust and thieves. Treasures in heaven, nobody can come and steal and corrupt. 12. A glorious high throne from the beginning is the place of our sanctuary. O Yahweh, the hope of Israel. And all that forsake thee shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the foundation of living waters. Where am I going? To 14. Heal me, O Yahweh, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. Let's jump over to Matthew 16. Yeah, it's not a long reading. I mean, y'all get the point, right? Stop being slaves. Stop letting prophecy get reenacted on our backs. Stop. The Bible says rehearse the righteous acts.
Not rehearse the old wicked acts.
Yeah, not rehearse the wicked acts that got us to where we're at now. But we're supposed to be rehearsing these righteous acts to come up out of this movie. It's a crazy movie. You know what I mean? Matthew 16:20. Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Hamashiach, Yahushai. From that time forth began Yahushai to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders, chief priests, and scribes, and be killed and be raised again the third day. It's funny because we talked about Peter yesterday in class. I'm telling you, this thing, I don't do this on purpose. But we talked about Peter yesterday, his stubbornness, and I brought up this situation, his mind. Remember, it says the heart is desperately wicked. It says it's deceitful above all things. Now, we're going to see that in action with Peter. Remember, Peter's rolling with Yahushai, right? It's not too long. It's still in Matthew's, but he's rolling. Yahushai is showing him these things that are supposed to happen concerning prophecy. Right?
Yes.
Now, that's at the mouth of the Most High. Now check it out. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, but be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. It's like, nigga, who are you to go against the word of the Lord? It don't matter what your intentions was. Did Peter not have good intention?
He did.
Yeah, but was his intentions misplaced? Yeah, because that had nothing to do with the will of the Lord. The will of the Lord was that Christ was going to be rebuked to the elders, killed, and suffer wrongfully. Who are you, Peter? Who are you to stand in front? It's like Uzzah with the ark. Nobody touched the ark. and the ark rattles, and then he tries to run over and catch the ark. Like, who the hell is you? His intentions were good, but grossly misplaced. Play your position. Stay in your lane.
Worry about the wrong thing.
You worry about the wrong thing. Stay in your lane. Who was he? Who was Uzzah to go touch that ark when the Most High said don't touch it? That's why he died. And you'd be like, man, but he was doing a good thing. No, he wasn't. He wasn't doing a good thing. His good thing was to stay in his position and keep his hands off and let the ark fall. The Most High, what did he say? Is his arm short? Is his arm too short to save? If he wanted the ark to fall, it would have fell. If he wanted to bear it up, the men that were there to do that would have did that. That's why they were there. There was men appointed, Levites appointed to touch that ark and deal with that. I'm going to read on.
So are you saying like when my back gave out in the gym
Oh, wow.
and I reached out for y'all, the Most High appointed me to fall?
God. That no man touch him. This guy's going to bring up a situation from 18 years ago. Every time we go into the gym, he's like, see, that's where I fell at and brothers didn't help. We went in there Thursday. He pointed out the exact body marker. It's like a body outline of his body when he fell. His back went out and he started doing, and he fell, and it's like outlined in chalk in his mind in the gym. He will never get off that. Every time he walk in, he's like, see, that's
right
where
there.
it happened. That's where my body, that's where my spirit still lays.
We set up stones for memorial.
Oh, wow. We set up weights, 12 weights. He'll never let us live that down. God. But he turned and said unto Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Because it's satanic. It's a Satan mind state. It's an evil, devilish mind. When the Most High lays out his orders and lays out the things that he wants, and for us to think that we're going to change his will just because, oh, well, I'm doing something good. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Stubbornness is as the sin of witchcraft and what do you say? And rebellion, right? Peter was being stubborn and rebellious here, man. Thinking that he knew better. Like, nigga, who's you? Are you counseling the Most High? That's how we be thinking sometimes, like we could counsel God. Like, man, nah, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and that ain't gonna happen. No, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because that's the will. Right? Then Yahushua said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself. What about himself? You better shut down that pride and that ego. Stop being so egotistical. Stop being so heady. Stop being so bullheaded. Peter. Man, Peter was getting checked left and right. Who was walking on water?
Peter.
And then stopped. O thou, O ye of little faith, why didst thou doubt? Peter was getting checked left and right. But then the dope thing about Peter, what was Peter?
The rock.
He was the rock. He was the foundation. His stubbornness, you know, think about it. Sometimes when you look at stubbornness is not always a bad thing, because in certain instances you got to be stubborn and you got to be steadfast in certain instances. He was just stubborn in the wrong situation. We talked about it yesterday about gifts, and the sister asked about gifts, like how do you know what your gift is? Well, you got to let people guide and show you what your gift is. You may not see it in yourself. Peter was stubborn, but his stubbornness had to be worked on and realigned into the right situations. He was stubborn as hell. He denied Christ, right, 3 times. He was stubborn as hell. They ain't taking you, Lord. Nigga, you satanic right now. But then he was stubborn when it came to going out and doing his job with the apostles. Right. When you read in Acts, when he was leading that charge, right? When he came against Paul, he was stubborn in that. But his stubbornness helped in certain situations. But it was aligned the right way. It wasn't stubbornness mixed with his mind. He was stubborn in the spirit of Christ. Just like Paul, he was stubborn in the spirit of Christ. But before that, he was stubborn in his mind. You see that? But then to withstand a man or withstand these people, he had to be stubborn. He had to be unmovable. Nah, I ain't moving until I get the result. But what spirit are you coming in? The spirit of Satan or the spirit of the Most High in Christ? If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. See, you can't follow if your mind is leading you. You can't follow Christ if you're following your mind. The heart is desperately wicked and deceitful. So it's going to be like, man, what I got to follow him for? I'm a man too. What I got to follow them for? I'm a man too. I'm grown. I pay bills. Your mind is going to come up with all these different reasonings for you not to deny yourself. The mind don't want to be denied. The carnal, natural man, he don't want to be denied of any of his pleasures. The spiritual man, his whole life is about denial. You want that? Yeah? Can you get it? Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope. It's all about abstinence. Abstaining. Can we abstain from letting our ego rule us? Letting our heart, the mind, guide us without the wisdom. I'll read on. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. And whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. Peter wasn't ready to lose. Whether shall you go, for you have the keys to life. Peter wasn't ready to lose, man. He wasn't ready to lose Christ. He wasn't ready. Nah, bro, it ain't about if you're ready or not. It's about what's the will of the Father. Even though it was a good thing for him to stand up for Yahushua and even when he cut off the centurion's ear and trying to stand up, wrong timing. He that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. Wrong timing. It ain't time to fight. It's time to teach and die. Right? It ain't time to fight. For what? 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? And that's the question. That's the question. Really, what on earth is worth your peace, your joy, your sovereignty? Like that real just, you know, that sense of, it's hard to explain. But you know when you just get that, like that sense of calm that's just on you and you've accepted your life. You know what it's going to be. You know what you got to do. And you're just ready to do it. And you know that no matter what comes, like I was talking to Locker Rob the other day, and I was like, you know, bro, one day at a time. Do what you could do in that day, and just know that there's going to be a tomorrow to be able to do what you got to do that day. Things will carry over, but you can't let frustration take hold. You can't be upset. You can't let any of these things take hold because it'll stop you from moving forward the next day. I'm like Dom Toretto, right? He takes things a quarter mile at a time. I take things I'm a day at a time. I'm like, listen, let's handle it. Whatever we can do for today, let's do it. And the good you do for today is going to set you up for tomorrow if there is one. If I plant today, it's not going to grow today. I'm planting today to grow for tomorrow. But what I planted 6 months ago, I could reap today. That's how that works. So what I planted today, I'm going to be able to reap 6 months from now. But if I keep planting, I'll be able to keep reaping daily. It's an endless cycle. But if I let frustration, if I let my thoughts and my mind interrupt the sowing aspect, the planting the seeds, then what am I going to be able to reap? 6 months, a year from now, nothing. Nothing. So we got to see. What are you exchanging for your soul, for that ability to reap and sow, for that ability to be in peace, for that ability to know what you got to do and do it, and no matter what is trying to interrupt, it's just bouncing off your shield. It's just you see it coming and you're like, nah, boom, and it just deflects. It's just deflecting off you and you're just moving. What can you exchange for that? Because all the money in the world you get, guess what? More problems, no matter what. You'll solve a lot of problems, but there's bigger problems that will come. It says money answereth all things. Right? But then the watching for riches, the sleepless nights, the worrying where your money is going to be and where it's going. So it answers a lot of things, but ask millionaires if they sleeping. Find out what millionaires sleeping. Even Steve Harvey said it. He said millionaires don't sleep. They don't sleep. It's 24 hours in a day. They need all 20 of those hours to be able to keep being millionaires. Just go ask a millionaire when you see one, how much time do you sleep? And he'll probably say, I don't. Because even if he's closing his eyes, he's thinking about his damn money. So money ain't going to do it. Women ain't going to do it. Man ain't going to do it. Why? Curses the man that trusteth in man and make flesh his arm. She's your woman right now. Yeah. But as soon as she don't like something, as soon as you put her under restriction, as soon as you start trying to put order in your house, guess what? She's everybody's woman because she don't want order and structure. That's your man now. But as soon as he start getting weak, as soon as he stop being a leader, as soon as this, as soon as that, he's everybody's man. So it can't be men, women, it can't be children. We know that. Why? Because children, after a while, got a choice to make. You trust in them and then they make the wrong choice. You're like, damn, why the hell did you choose that way? Right? Like you chose homosexuality? Why, son?
Open the chakras.
You chose to open you chose Kemet? Why? What can you give in exchange? Like it's about your soul. It can't be the children. It can't be your woman. It can't be your man. It can't be money. It can't be anything. You can't exchange anything for your soul. That's the point.
That's true.
For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels. And then he shall reward every man according to his work. So whatever you thought was going to be the exchange, it looked fair. Like Eve thought that the exchange was going to be fair. Right? The feminist women thought that the exchange, oh yeah, equal rights and pay, and we get to go out into the world. Now your kids is dying. They hungry. Now your households are broken. Now your man is out in them streets trying to find him a woman that's going to be about the house. He out there in the streets trying to find him a keeper at home. A keeper of the home. You out there trying to be a career woman. You out there trying to be educated. Nothing wrong with getting an education, but you know what I mean. Doctorates upon doctorates upon doctorates. MBA, CBA, MPBs, I don't know.
Private eye investigator.
All that. You got all the doctorates. PhD, right? What is the other one? PhD, Masters. What's the other one? Bachelor's, Masters, Associates, PhD. You got to...
Yeah.
What was the one that I thought it was? I thought it was Masters. I thought it was a MBA. I thought it was a Masters, Bachelor's, and Associates. An MBA is an actual, right? An MBA is something, right? It's an actual degree.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
Yeah.
Huh? Right. I thought it stood for Masters, Bachelors, and Associates.
It's like you go backwards.
I got my MBA. No, I thought it was like I got my MBA. I got all three from this college.
Oh.
Like I got my MBA from Harvard, my associates, my bachelor's, and my master's.
I think MA stands for Master Administration because with the field degree, you can go into any level.
Ah, see?
Yeah.
Well, the point is, can your MBA, Can your MBA, your bachelor's, or your associates, or your job, can you exchange those things? And look at the exchange. It ain't been fair. The Most High said he's going to reward us for our exchange. Look at the reward. Look at the reward of what you've already exchanged. It hurts, don't it? Don't you feel bamboozled? Like, damn, that nigga tricked me. You exchange your soul for weed and crack and drugs and gangs. Where's the gangs now? You get to a certain age in a gang and they don't even look at you the same. OGs ain't respected. Don't y'all know that? OGs in the gangs ain't respected by the new cats. They don't give a damn about what work you put in. They just know that your tattoos are fading and you ain't doing work that they doing. And you taking up some of the money that they want. That's all the young cats know. So gang life can't be it. Right? I mean, we go through all these different things. And the only thing that's going to stand is the truth. Wisdom. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing that's going to stand the test that you can have an even exchange in your soul with. Into a malicious soul, wisdom will not enter. But into a righteous soul, wisdom is going to be the even exchange, and it's going to be the bearer of all good things. I proposed her to live with me because I knew she was going to be the counselor of all good things. She helped me put the world in check, not just the parking lot, but the entire world, Craig. It's my whack joke I do every Sunday, every Saturday. 28, verily I say unto you, there shall be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Any questions? There's no exchange for your soul. Yahweh Shai knew it in Matthew's the 4th chapter. Right? Moses knew it when he exchanged the riches of Egypt for the reproach of his people. Abraham knew it when he got up out of his land and exchanged his land for his soul. Gave up his land of his nativity, gave up his mom, his daddy, and followed the Most High. Joseph knew it. Jacob knew it. Isaac knew it. Deborah, Judith, Esther. There was no exchange for being eating from the king's table. There was no exchange for that. All these people, all these examples of, and then you got look at Judas. He exchanged his soul for 30 shekels and died in a field, hanging himself alone. Right? Many negative men exchange their soul for something or another. And we have the example of it. What to do, what not to do. Any questions off the topic of the reading? Breaking records. It wasn't a long reading, so yeah. Remember, we got Pentecost coming up, right? Yes, sir. Or the first fruits. That's June 11th. It's a Saturday. We don't have class. Business as usual. We'll have a feast after. Here at the school. That's not set up yet, right? No. It'll probably be here. I mean, we got the school for a reason. We got to use it. It's better accommodating for everything that we need. Parking, space. Yeah. So we'll probably more than likely be here at the school, June the 11th, celebrating the feast. Remember in July, I'm just throwing these things out there real quick. July, we're gonna try to get everybody together to hit the summit out in Raleigh, North Carolina. Then for the month, I'll be staying in Virginia. Kazakia will be here in Houston. All right, so camp exchange, and you're gonna be seeing that often. But this is the thing. Think about it. It's me, Zion, Kazak. We're the ones you always constantly hear me traveling, right? I'm constantly doing what? Leaving my family for months at a time. Kazak leaving his family. Zion, he's in Rochester. His family's still in VA, right? Who's gonna step up? It can't just be us three constantly sacrificing, constantly doing that, and nobody else is doing it. The scriptures, we pray, right? Raise up teachers. Raise up teachers that's been in the name of the Most High. The labor is plenty, but the laborers are few.
Harvest plenty.
The harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. Right? We pray for the laborers. So just keep it in mind, man, what we're doing. There's a lot of things that we got going on. There's a lot of things that we can't do because we can't be everywhere. 3 people can't be everywhere at once. There's a lot of things that we want to do that's going to be beneficial, but who's going to step up to help? So,
Mine will be next week.
what's that?
The sisters.
The
I'll make the announcement next week.
oh, for the okay, yeah, okay, all right. If that's it, I mind you will point out down. Oh, wait a minute. What is the blood moon? Like, you want me to tell you? I mean, I couldn't tell you what a blood moon is. But I know that. Go to Jeremiah real quick. It's just one of the signs of heaven. It's just one of the signs. Let's see here. Did it say something about the moon? The moon will be. It says the moon will be darkened.
Yeah.
You know what the blood moon is? Something to get somebody off track. That's what that is. Right? It's something. Go to Joel 30. Go to Acts. Go to Acts 20, 2 and 20 real quick. The blood. Go to Acts 2 and 20. Hold that. Go to Jeremiah 10 real quick. The blood moon is nothing but a sign. It's nothing but a sign, and really what it is it's something to get Israelites and people caught up in and get them off track. Right? So go to Jeremiah 10 and 1.
Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 1.
Right?
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Go ahead.
Thus says the Lord.
Read.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Go ahead.
And be not dismayed of the signs of heaven.
To be not what?
Dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Go ahead.
For the heathens are dismayed at them.
Yeah, the heathen, the non-believers. They're dismayed at the signs of heaven. It's a sign in heaven. What is it a sign of? Go to Acts 2 and 20.
Acts chapter 2, verse 20. The sun shall be turned into darkness.
Right?
And the moon into blood.
Right?
Before that great and notable day of the Lord comes.
Right. So the blood moon is a sign of the days of the Lord. The blood moon is a sign, that we're in the end times. That's what the blood moon is. But it said, don't be dismayed. Don't get caught up in that. Too many of us are caught up in super wolf moon, blood moon, triple blood moon, crescent moon, this moon, that moon. You know, what it is it's exactly what the scriptures say. It's a sign in heaven. It's a sign to signify that your salvation is nearer than you once believed. It's a sign that in the days of Noah, men are going to be eating and drinking, lovers of themselves, marrying and giving into marriage. What are we supposed to be doing as believers, as saints? Well, we're supposed to be seeing that blood moon and saying, man, Barakatah Yahweh, the word of the Most High is true. That time is almost near. Not getting caught up in it and, losing our scruples over that. Because there was a moon, no, it was an eclipse. There was a moon eclipse last Sunday. I think it turned the moon red. It was something crazy. I didn't even look for it. I forgot all about it. I'm like, cool. They said it's gonna happen. I don't even care. You know why? I don't need the moon to show me that we're in the end times. All I gotta do is look down the street, take a drive, crack, killing, cocaine, hate, anger, depression, the hate of the Antichrist, the hate of the Bible. That right there is showing me. But the blood moon is just another sign. Not to be dismayed at. What's that?
I have a scripture.
What you got?
Joel chapter 2 verse 31.
Right. It's going to say the same thing. Go ahead.
The sun shall be turned into darkness.
Right.
And the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come.
Right. So again, there's a sign. Joel 2:31 and Acts 2:20 say the same exact thing. Just a sign for the heavens, man. What was the scripture? We went to Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. 10, verse 1 and verse 2. Right? So what's that?
Are there going to be like plenty of signs of the blood moon?
We've had plenty of blood moons.
Yeah, I know there were one in 2010.
Yeah, they had like a triple. They had one called like a wolf moon, where it was a blood moon that was close.
Yeah,
It was like a full moon. You know how sometimes you get the full moon and it's real close. It's like you can touch it, and then sometimes it's further away. But it was they call it like a super wolf moon or something like that. But it was a blood moon or a red moon that was close. Again, it looks nice for photos and it's dope to look at. But after that, I'm like, well, guess what I got to do tomorrow? Keep fighting.
Yep.
That's the sign to keep fighting and keep enduring. Because as soon as you let the blood moon catch you up, and you're like, oh man, it's time to relax. We made it. Next thing you know, you back smoking weed again and being a whoremonger, and then you miss out on your salvation. So the blood moon is the sign, one of the many signs that the Most High has given us to remind us that the word of the Most High is true and to keep enduring until the end. The blood moon ain't it. Now, if you're asking, well, what is it? I wouldn't be able to give you why it turns red and why that happens on that level, but I just know that the Bible said it would happen. And even if what we're looking at, even if that is the blood moon, right? Who knows? Who knows? But we just know what? Don't get caught up in it. Just keep pushing. Yeah. Was that it? Yeah. It's getting there, man. You know what you gotta read? 2 Timothy 3. For in the last days men shall be lovers of the perilous times, men shall be lovers of themselves. And you go through all that, and that right there, and then all you gotta do is just watch the news and look at people around you. And that right there, if that don't let you know, I don't know what will. You know, so. All right. I mind you, we'll point you out, down. Rise and face east. Yeah. To the bank. That one I got dropped.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please listen to us right now.
Please listen to us right now.
Send Michael and the righteous angels.
Send Michael and the righteous angels
to watch over.
to watch over,
Bless, heal,
heal,
protect,
protect,
and make strong the people of Israel.
and make strong the people of Israel.
Send unto us much wisdom.
Send unto us much wisdom,
Much knowledge.
much knowledge,
Much understanding.
much understanding,
Much patience.
much patience,
Much faith.
much faith,
Much brotherhood.
much brotherhood,
And much love.
and much love,
Spiritual power.
spiritual power,
And forgive all of our sins.
and forgive all of our sins.
Yahweh Shai come quickly.
Yahweh Shai come quickly,
For in thee is our hope.
for in thee is our hope,
Always and forever.
always and forever.
Amen.
Amen.
You got it?
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
Hawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Latanadawa.
Latanadawa.
Hatawara.
Hatawara.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the law.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Hahawa'ah.
Hahawa'ah.
Latananawa. A war. La Ra'ah.
La Ra'ah.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, to give source of light to see.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Excuse me. Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Hahawa'ah.
Hahawa'ah.
Latananawa. Ha'ayah.
Ha'ayah.
Korah.
Korah.
La
Korah.
Ha'ain.
Ha'ain.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, to give source of rams from the called people.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Hahawa'ah.
Hahawa'ah.
Latananawa. Shaman. Zayah. Lamashah. Yasha'Allah.
Yasharallah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, to give source of olive oil to anoint Israel.
And we'll do that after class if you want to be anointed. This is Psalms 92. It is a good thing.
It is a good thing
to give thanks unto Yahweh.
to give thanks unto Yahweh
And to seek praise unto thy name.
and to sing praise unto thy name.
O Most High.
O Most High,
To show forth thy loving kindness in the morning.
show forth thy loving kindness in the morning
And thy faithfulness every night.
and thy faithfulness every night.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings
And upon the psaltery.
and upon the psaltery.
Upon the harp with a solemn sound.
Upon the harp with the solemn sound.
For thou,
thou,
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
hast made me glad through thy work.
has made me glad to thy works.
I will triumph in the works of thy hand.
I will triumph in the works of thy hands.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
how great are thy works.
how great are thy works,
And thy thoughts are very deep.
and thy thoughts are very deep.
A brutish man knoweth not.
A brutish man knoweth not,
Neither do a fool understand this.
neither does a fool understand this.
When the wicked spring as the grass,
When the wicked spring as the grass,
and when all the works of iniquity do flourish,
and all workers of iniquity do flourish,
it is that they shall be destroyed forever.
it is that they shall be destroyed forever.
But thou,
But thou,
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
art most high forevermore.
are most high forevermore.
For lo thy enemies,
For lo thy enemies,
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
for lo thy enemies shall perish.
for lo thy enemies shall perish.
All the works of iniquity shall be scattered.
All the works of iniquity shall be scattered.
But my horn,
But my horn
shall thou exalt,
shall thou exalt,
like the horn of a unicorn.
like the horn of a unicorn.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
My eye also shall see.
My eye also shall see.
My desire my enemies.
My desire my enemies.
And my ears shall hear.
And my ears shall hear.
My desire the wicked that rise up against me.
My desire the wicked that rise up against me.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm trees.
He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon.
He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon.
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh Shai
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh
shall flourish in the courts of Yahweh.
shall flourish in the courts of Yahweh.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall be fat and flourishing.
They shall be fat and flourishing.
To show that Yahweh is upright.
To show that Yahweh is upright.
He is my rock.
He is my rock.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
This is Psalms 133. Shayar.
Shayar.
Hamalawat.
Hamalawat.
Lawad.
Ladawad.
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 Hana.
Hana.
Matawab.
Matawab.
Wama.
Wama.
Na'ayam.
Na'ayam.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Akim.
Akim.
Gum.
Gum.
Yachad.
Yachad.
Kashaman.
Kashaman.
Hatawab.
Hatawab.
Ow.
Al.
Haraash.
Haraash.
Yarad.
Yarad.
Ow.
Ow.
Hazakwan.
Hazakwan.
Zakwan.
Zakwan.
Aharan.
Aharan.
Shayarad.
Shayarad.
Alpanya.
Alpanya.
Madawatuya.
Madawatuya.
Katol.
Katol.
Harawan.
Harawan.
Shayarad.
Shayarad.
Ow.
Ow.
Hararia.
Hararia.
Tazawan.
Tazawan.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Sham.
Sham.
Tazawa.
Tazawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ak. Habaraka.
Habaraka.
Kayayam.
Kayayam.
I. Ha'awalam.
Ha'awalam.
Aman.
Aman.
This is Psalm chapter 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Most High commanded a blessing, even life forevermore.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Tamyad.
Tamyad.
Aman.
Aman.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Baba Bashar.
Baba Bashar.
Shemai.
Shemai.
Aitha.
Aitha.
Our prayers.
Our prayers.
Baba Bashar.
Baba Bashar.
Shemai.
Shemai.
To our cries.
To our cries.
Shalach.
Shalach.
Our sins.
Our sins.
Salakia.
Salakia.
Salak. I made a mistake. Salakia.
Salakia.
Of our sins.
Of our sins.
Shalach.
Shalach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Aitha. We ask Yahweh.
We ask Yahweh.
That you continue.
That you continue.
To watch over us.
To watch over us.
To guide us.
To guide us.
And to protect us.
And to protect us.
With your wisdom.
With your wisdom.
And your word.
And your word.
In these evil times.
In these evil times.
Continue. To remove us.
To remove us.
From evil.
From evil.
Continue.
Baruch
Shah. To remove evil.
To remove evil.
From around us.
From around us.
Remove all negative.
Remove all negative.
Remove all hatred.
Remove all hatred.
Murmuring. Backbiting.
Contention.
Doubt. Faithlessness. Weaknesses. From out of us. And from around us. Baruch Shah. Shemai. Please. Have mercy upon us. As thy will be done. Strengthen us. Our communication. Our brotherhood. Our sisterhood. Our charity. Our faith. Our hope. In you. Bahashem Yahushai. The water. Yad. Aman. Circle up. Sisters, please be seated. Call it.
Men of Israel, I'm Michael. Barak.
Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Barakatham.
Kum Yashua.
Let's turn to face the sisters. You'll get it. Madam Shabbat, sisters rise. Sisters, please rise. Wait. Go that way. Yeah. What are you trying to do? Shut it off? You'll have time. Call it.
Salute out the daughters of Zion. Men of Israel, I'm Michael. Barak.
Yahweh Shema Latan Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Matah. Hands down. Let's say shalom to everybody online.
Shalom.
We'll see y'all back here on Wednesday. Oh, well, no. We're on VA's channel. So, but yeah, we'll be live on Wednesday on our channel. Shalom, y'all.
Get roast.
It's like, you know how like the 90s movies at the end they always hold.
Chilling.